The deaths of 4 children and injuries to at least 38 others.
Authorities report that the explosion happened as the bus was transporting students home.
German authorities have arrested 5 teenagers accused of plotting attacks as part of a far-right group called Last Defense Wave. The group allegedly aimed to destabilize Germany's democratic system by targeting migrants and political opponents. Iran has announced it will continue enriching uranium despite upcoming indirect talks with the United States scheduled in Rome.
The U.S. insists that Iran must halt enrichment activities, a condition not included in the 2015 nuclear agreement.
President Donald Trump is hosting South African President Cyril Ramaphosa at the White House amid tensions over U.S. resettlement of white South Africans.
Trump and Musk have amplified claims of genocide against white farmers in South Africa, which officials there dispute.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be
I'm all red and dark. I'm dark red.
Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Darkwing duck.
We're going to come coffee here, please.
Dark red. We're just going to keep saying I'm dark red. Darker. Okay. Walker. That boy. No.
Damn, good coffee. And hot.
I don't know. Technical issues right away.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Something else. That's how red I am.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
I'm drinking less wine than I used to. Maybe I should start drinking wine again. So I sleep better. What is the microphone doing? That's really weird. When you see yourself looking back at yourself from every angle, kind of disturbing. Especially if you look like me. It's like, well, what creepy dude? Himmler checking me out. Good morning, folks. It is Thursday.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking.
Nah, I'm kidding. I'm just going to blame it all on Stephen the Button pushing fuck, because somebody's pushing buttons back there, and it ain't me.
Fucking liars! Fucking liars!
See? Look at that dick. He's a fucking... Let me just say one thing to Stephen before we move on. I forget what I wanted to say. If only there was some kind of text prompt for it. Oh, there it is. Anyway. What was it? Nobody loves me. Not even, well, I shouldn't say that. Steven's AI girlfriend loved me a long time. But other than that, I'm unloved. Except for old people. And you know what? At least I have the old people. Because the paint party people, they dig me. It's good to see that they want me back. I'm wanted. Except for that, hitting the microphone like that. That was a little weird. You know what? A group full of old people dig me. I feel ingratiated by that. Other than that, today it's almost Memorial Day weekend, if you didn't know. And it's fucking cold and raining. You wake up, you got a dog that needs walking. The dog was like, I don't really want to go out there. Can't I just shit in the house? And I'm like, if it didn't stink so bad, I would probably say, yeah, maybe I put down some paint. But the dog was actually having a conversation with me like, do I have to? want to go out there. It's raining, cold rain. And then she went out and she quickly, like, I've never seen a dog go so fast. Like, generally she takes like 10 minutes sniffing the ground saying, what's the perfect place to piss? And then after she finds the perfect place to piss, then she walks down the block and sniffs around on. How do you tell the perfect place to take a shit? But somehow she knows this is the spot today where I'm going to shit. But today it was just like, okay, here and here. And let's get back in the house because it's cold and rainy. It's winter. It's fucking winter. And I'm not supposed to say fuck, this early in the program, but what the fuck? Anyway, Ron Kane is very upset that Mike Lee, Mr. Lee, oh, Mr. Lee, he wants to ban pornography. Good luck with that. Pornography is, listen, it's not just for liberals anymore. As witnessed by the Republican National Convention when one of the porn sites went down. I think it was one of the gay porn sites that went down, but doesn't really matter. That's beside the point. Why you got to bring up the gay stuff for? But honestly, pornography is a $1 trillion business that nobody except Steven admits to actually patronizing. But I guarantee you, it comes down to a vote. You know what? We're all for it when we speak about it, but can we hold a vote in private? Can we vote on this in private? Because I don't want people to know that, yes, I'm voting for bukkake. All the bukkake you can get. Like, it's Bukkake Friday, like a buffet of bukkake. All the bukkake you can eat. I don't know about eat. I don't know, do they eat bukkake? But so look at me. I haven't said bukkake. You know what? I was thinking last night we haven't heard Ron say lingerie since Mike Shavola left the chat room. Well, left the chat room is putting it generously. He was kicked out of the chat room. But I kind of miss Ron's lingerie fetish. But I haven't said bukkake in like 6 months. Bukkake. Anyway, we have a sponsor that I should have been telling you about for a long time. If you want to learn to play guitar, you can go to minddogtv.com/guitar. minddogtv.com/guitar and sign up for Simply Guitar. Here it is. It's in the description there. minddogtv.com. I don't know if it's in the description. Just type that shit in. minddogtv.com/guitar. Sign up today, and in no time you'll be like riffing. You'll be riffing, and you don't even know what riffing means. And I'm not sure I know what riffing means. But you could also learn piano, minddogtv.com/piano, and you can learn to sing. And you know what? The singing stuff works. It definitely will improve your singing. minddogtv.com/sing. Go there and buy the stuff because maybe needs a new pair of shoes or something. Anyway, I'm going to play a commercial for Daily High Club now because I have to while I figure a way to push buttons and get Steven and GD in the room without breaking stuff. I need to play the commercial. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play a commercial for Daily High Club. Now, you can go to Daily High Club, and for the next, 10 days? No, 9 days, you can use the code MindDogTV.
Fucking liars!
Look, he's pushing buttons. That fucking fat fuck. Where was that? Oh, yeah, you get 10% off on your bongs, your rolling papers, your accessories, your things. I don't know what else they have, to be honest with you. But they got shit. They got stuff. And you can sign up for the subscription box where they just send you, oh, here's this thing and this thing and this. I don't know how to use half this shit, to be honest with you. I'm an old-fashioned guy. I roll a joint. But, they'll send you papers every month. I don't know. But you got to. Tommy Chong likes it. He's a giant. Tommy. Am I talking too much?
The opinions expressed on this program.
Button.
With humble
button pushing.
With humble East Coast beginnings in 2015, Daily High Club is the premier destination for glass water pipes, vaporizers, and consumption accessories. If you're looking to elevate your smoking game to the next level, you're in the right place. With over 1 million top-quality smoking products sold, and with a growing base of over 10,000 monthly subscribers worldwide, we deliver the ultimate smoking experience. But Daily High Club is not just a retailer, we're lovers of the smoking scene ourselves, working with giants like Tommy Chong, Snoop Dogg, Chanel West Coast, and more. Ready to join the Daily High Club? Let our experts curate your collection with our awesome El Primo monthly subscription box, or grab one of our fun and unique pieces from our smoke shop. Click the link in the description below this video to get this party started now.
Muted because dick face shit stain Steven.
Whoa!
No, you are a shit stain. You're a shit stain motherfucking fat fuck. Blow me, you cocksucker.
Okay.
In the
Morning
room
to you too.
Yeah, in the room with me now is Steven the shit saying cocksucker, fat fuck, who's gonna blow me, who is still pushing this AI girlfriend nonsense. Like, oh, I got a girlfriend. Look, she's real. But nobody's buying it. And also in the room with me is the star of this program, because today's program is titled "The Blackest Time," and here's the blackest man, TD Black Man, Fenderson. I'm sorry.
Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com. Are you tired of not remembering shit?
I forgot shit too.
Take two. Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com. Are you tired of not being able to think of or come back to a remark until after you leave the room? Order Matt Napo's book. Order the book Matt Napo's Snappy Comebacks, and get snappy comebacks like "Blow me, you fat fuck," and "Your mother's a skank whore."
Snappy comeback, though. You got to admit. I mean,
"Your mother's a skank whore."
But yeah, "Your mother's a skank whore" is it's kind of overdone, but still, it's an old standby. It's an old standby.
It's there.
MindDogTV.com.
And for the fuck it.
Blow me, you fat fuck.
What? I didn't even do anything yet this morning.
You pushed my mute button on.
No, that was that asshole.
That
asshole. I didn't touch the mute button.
Oh, I didn't hit mute. I didn't hit anything, but he was pushing buttons this morning.
Yeah.
You know that, Bob Heideldecker or whatever, the great new comedian that wrote the bio for. He's here now. I just want to give you a little sample of Bob Heideldecker and see what you think.
So I went to the zoo the other day, and all they had was one dog. It was a Shih Tzu.
Did you like
so
that?
I went to the zoo the other
Did you like Bob Heideldecker? No. You didn't like Bob. Now, did you see it? Did you appreciate that video? Was that really good? Oh, what? That was really amazing, right?
That was AI, right?
Yeah, he's not real. That guy's not real. The
thing was the clue to me was the way he said Shih Tzu.
Shih Tzu? How do you say Shih Tzu?
He broke it up. He had trouble with the actual word.
Huh.
It sounded like somebody who just read the word for the first time to me.
He said Shih Tzu for the first time?
Like he just read it for the first time.
Ah.
I have a question. I have a question for you, Matt, because you're a New Yorker.
I'm not.
You may not know the answer though, because it's actually about California. No, I'm just.
I was a Californian.
I have a question. The New York Knicks originally were called the New York Knickerbockers.
Yeah, they still are kind of.
They shortened it to Knicks like a long time ago.
Right.
I'm wondering if the word Knicks has been around so long that new people or younger people have no idea what a Knickerbocker is.
Yeah, what the fuck, a Knickerbocker?
Yeah.
No, not Knickerbacker.
No, because I thought Knicks was short for knickers, like pants. So that's what I thought it was short for. So
yeah.
I don't know what a Knickerbocker is. I've never heard that word.
I don't think
actually that's the longer form. Knickers is short for Knickerbockers.
Right.
Oh.
So it you're right. It is about pants, but it's more about taking your pants off and taking a shit in the subway. That's where Knickerbockers came from. It's drop your knickerbockers.
Yeah, back in the 1800s, that's where the word knickerbockers came from. To take your pants down and shit in the subway.
Yeah.
Even they were so advanced, so forward thinking. They didn't have a subway, but they knew they needed a place.
They had a subway. They just didn't have trains. They had a subway.
So they had the underground
wagon trains underground under the city. You know what? I'm interested.
Do blacks get credit for inventing the subway?
When did they start building the subway? I don't know that.
Well, blacks started digging under the subway first, and then you guys stole the idea from us.
You guys, like I was involved somehow.
Well, when I said you guys, I just meant slave owners.
And you think you guys? I'm one of those. I never on the slave, unless you count Stephen, and then whatever. I don't know. Build do I have to put the in there? You fucking bastard. 1904. So that's that's before the basketball team.
Mr. Bill, what did you think was going in a different direction? I can't tell because the time.
Oh, Knickerbockers. I think he wanted Knickerbockers to go in another direction, like
lose to the Celtics.
Yeah. Knickerbockers are going all the way, right? They're going to win the championship this year.
They just lost to the Pacers last night, didn't they?
Well, that's what I mean. They're going all the way, right?
But they didn't lose the whole series of the Pacers, though, right?
They're going all the way. They're going all the way to Indiana and back. All right. I'm not a big sports guy, as you can tell. I used to be a big sports guy. I used to follow everything in sports, like it meant something. And then I realized it meant nothing. And now I don't follow it anymore. Anyway, I'm remiss in telling people about the Blackest Time. You know about the Blackest Time?
Yeah, that was when my mother threw my father out the house. It was the blackest times. It was the blackest times.
Yeah.
Swing low, sweet chariot, mama kicking daddy out of the house.
The Dark Ages, they were the blackest times. Anyways, outside of when Obama was in the White House.
Anyway.
Speaking of blackest times, Matt, just so you know, your good friend, your buddy, the Taylor guy, Roger Taylor, the guy from Queen, is that it? Robert Taylor has a new video on YouTube he's inviting us all to watch, and he posted that, and I said, I will mention it on the show, Coffee with the Dog. You remember Matt, right? That's what I wrote.
But he didn't invite me to watch his dopey little. No, I don't. He doesn't keep in touch with me anymore. I don't know what I did to Robert Taylor. What did I did. You know what? There's a lot of people I don't know what I did to them, but a lot of people are hating me. Nobody loves me. I said that. Matt has suddenly been slipping a G into Knickerbockers so he can get away with it on air. You mean Knickerbockers?
Oh my God! No, don't fall for the trap.
What?
Oh no!
I think that was a slam dunk.
Guys, I'm pretty excited. By the way, I'm pretty excited. This bum is gonna have he's getting his car this weekend. Very excited.
Congratulations! Is it big enough to? Is it big enough to carry your all of your base equipment?
It'll carry my base equipment and my stand-up equipment.
What about your ramp? Will it carry your ramp?
Well, it'll carry my ramp and my wheelchair at the same time, and my bass stuff.
It will come in handy when the gay guy who you're living with finally finds a real boyfriend and kicks you out.
Hey, you know what? It's big enough to live in. It's a Cadillac Escalade, so I'll be able to live in it.
Wait a minute. So, on the subject of getting
like 2
kicked
miles
out,
a gallon.
It's on Facebook. There was this thing, house tent. They're giving away a free house tent, right?
Saw that.
Huh? You saw that?
I've seen something like that on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, yeah, I want that. I'm gonna go fucking live in Pablo San Capapalos or something like that. I'm just gonna go live on the beach. I'm gonna fucking leave my wife and take a tent and go and live on a beach in somewhere where it's warm all the time. And then I go there, and they've got you filling out all this fucking nonsense, and you're never gonna get the thing. It's like
every time I've tried that, it's never worked.
All it is fishing for all your information, what you want to. It's like they make you take a dozen surveys before you ever get to it, and then you don't get the fucking thing. Like, I want the thing. I buy it now.
God damn it, Bill.
What was he saying?
That's a little late now.
I was short school bus with a wheelchair ramp you can buy. Wow.
Here's the thing. I would have legitimately considered buying that.
How much, Bill?
Yeah,
I want a tour bus. I want a tour bus for my comedy show.
I've wanted a tour bus forever, man.
I'm considering painting my Escalade like a bus and putting comedy short bus.
Escalade. Ride a horse, save a cowboy.
Yeah.
Escalade's in that song.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's like I'm like a Rain Man thing. Yeah, Kmart. I buy my underwear at Kmart.
And for the record, GD, it's the V6 version, so it's a little bit better. About 10, 12 miles a gallon. Yeah.
So all these tribute bands here now all of a sudden are buying tour buses, and I'm like, that was my that was always my thing. It's just to own a tour bus, and I don't know if you know Ramble Jack Elliott. Jack Elliott was one of the first guys who, back in the '60s, bought a one of those mobile homes, Winnebago, and converted it into like a comedian tour bus or a troubadour tour bus, just a one-man thing, and he lived in it, and fuck it, buy wife, buy family, buy everything. I'm just hitting it. I'm gonna go live on the road in a stinky little traveling toilet. That's my dream.
I have a traveling toilet already. It's called the Depends diaper.
Before I was using the wheelchair full time, I always wanted. That was always kind of like a pipe dream. Like, if shit goes bad, I'm just gonna get a van, turn it into a mini home, and live in it.
That's it. Good idea. I mean, so what? That if things go good, what do you mean if things go bad? If everything works out right,
it's still an idea. I would, if I had my way, I would absolutely live on the road for sure.
Yeah,
in like an RV or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now do you need like gas pedal and brake pedal on the wheel or something? What do you?
I have hand controls that I built when I was 18.
You built?
Yeah.
You trust your own engineering?
I built them, and then they had to get approved by the DOT to get my license when I was 18.
Oh my God. Oh no, I would not. If you see Steven on the road, get the fuck off the road immediately.
Actually, I've seen them. They work very well. I've seen him with them, and I think considering that he used Lego blocks and Lincoln Logs, he did a great job.
Wow.
Close. I actually used
part of an erector set.
You're close. It was actually a pair of old crutches, a couple clamps, and a backpack strap.
Holy shit. I'm not getting on the road with you. Not never.
They're metal.
It's how he configured it. It's how he configured it, because all of it attaches to his penis.
Yes.
So it doesn't work.
So his hands are free to
roll joints. The only thing that works.
His hands are free to roll joints while he's driving. He's like, okay. That's why he drives like this.
Now, what was the thing in the news about Pakistan? They're blowing up school buses now?
I thought Pakistan was that guy with the big dick. I thought that was.
No, that was Packing Stan.
Oh, Packing Stan.
Packing Stan. He's packing heat. Yeah, that's different.
Okay, because I remember I used to dance.
I made the same mistake. I understand.
I used to dance with him, and I hated being on the same show with him at the same time.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because he hit you in the face with it.
It's twice.
I don't doubt that at all.
That's the problem with choreography in a strip show. It's like, oh shit, stop it!
Sling and dong everywhere, man. Yeah.
I could have gone the rest of my life without hearing about this stuff. But unfortunately,
you mean the few hours you have left?
Listen, all roads lead to bukkake. All right, so it's just.
I hate sushi. I don't eat sushi.
It's not sushi.
I think it's sushi.
There is some rawness involved.
Oh, okay. Because I'm pretty sure there's like bukkake is the side dish to sushi.
And I misunderstood what it is. I thought it was like a bunch of dudes standing around coming on Steven's face.
That is a type
No,
of
that's called a
bukkake.
Wednesday. That's called a Wednesday, not
Wednesday.
bukkake. And to be precise, that's called Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Time.
See you later, Bill. We'll talk to you next week, buddy.
So this Mike Lee thing to ban porn, you agree with me that it doesn't have a chance in hell of ever passing, right? Or what do you think? What, you're just shaking your head. The people on the radio can't
There's
hear
no
you.
way. There's no
Here's
way
the
it'll be.
deal. Here's what could happen. Here's what could happen. Trump could do it with an executive order, and then while everybody's fussing and fighting over it, people are saying we're gonna it's that. Well, all that shit's going crazy. Then the Supreme Court will put a hold on all porn while they hear the case in 4 years, and in 4 years people will forget all about porn, and they won't have to ban it. It'll soft ban.
Yeah.
Because people will forget all about porn.
People will forget all about porn.
Yeah, because there'll be so much confusion as to whether or not they can watch it. They'll be afraid to get arrested because of the executive order, and so while it's going through the courts,
it's kind of like due process, right? Once you take it away, you can call anything. You can basically say anybody is committing that crime and just lock them up and take them away. There's no due process.
Right.
So
Right.
with porn, you can basically say, well, that's pornography. This could be pornography, even though there's no nudity. Just me talking about coming on Stephen's face, which is, everybody who hasn't come on Stephen's face. But I mean,
there's like 7 of us left.
Yeah. So basically, they could lock me up just for saying that, right? That's pornography.
Well, I don't know if they would immediately lock you up because they have to use all their prisons for immigrants. So they probably would just fine you at first.
Probably going to be fines and tickets and
Yeah.
banning of your internet at home and shit like that. Oh, you're watching porn? Fine. You don't get internet at your home.
Right. You have to get one of those blow things on your computer, like with a drunk driving car. And before you can
It scans your hand to see if you have semen on it.
Right. Before you can use your computer, you have to like blow into a tube to see if there's any porn on your mouth. And then if there's no porn on your lips, then you can use your computer.
All right, this is the show for today. Thanks, folks. Have a great Thursday. In the second hour we have Ken Tentarelli, who's an Italian guy. This is kind of in this bio. It's all about food.
Food. It's all about food and him not knowing anything about Italy.
And his book is historical fiction about the Black Plague in Florence, Italy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I wanted to ask him about that.
I thought like the Black Plague started in England, right? Because
I thought it started like toward Asia and made its way west. You think it started west and made its way east because it wiped out. It couldn't have started it. I'm getting mixed up. I think it probably did start in Europe because I'm trying to think. Genghis Khan was catapulting dead bodies over walls to get people sick. So that's why I thought it started in Asia.
Genghis Khan was the one who had the hit "Tell Me Something Good."
Yes, Genghis Khan featuring Rufus. Right. Rufus featuring Genghis Khan. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I don't know about the Black Plague, but are you offended that they didn't call it the White Plague?
No.
Everything bad is black and everything good is white. You know that?
That was what what was his name?
Stephen.
They called himself the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I think the one who started the Nation of Islam.
Oh yeah.
Farrakhan's mentor.
Right.
That was like pretty much the premise of what a lot of his teachings. He says if you take the teachings of white people and reverse it, you'll have real history.
Who was the comedian that talked about the bowling pins? The bowling pins are white. Bowling is a black man's sport because you get the black ball knocks down the white pins.
I don't know who was the
probably some fucking racist. I don't know.
No, it's a black guy. Well, it could be.
I don't know
be a racist.
Yeah, I don't know the first because it has to be very, very old because I remember as a kid knowing it.
Yeah.
Or
I'm talking about like the 60s. I can't remember his name. Godfrey Cambridge, I think. No, maybe. I don't know. What do I know? Anyway, Ken is an interesting dude.
I don't think it was Godfrey Cameron. I think it was Gilbert Godfrey.
All right.
That
Gilbert
black
Godfrey
comedian.
when he was black, before he was Jewish.
Yeah.
All right. Ken is an interesting dude. He grew up in an Italian household, but knew nothing about his Italian heritage other than the food.
That just sounds like a black kid. You know, doesn't know anything about his culture except for chitlins.
Yeah.
And watermelon and chicken.
You know, I can't speak any Italian, but I grew up around a lot of people speaking Italian. They didn't try to sublimate it or any of that kind of stuff. It's just so. But I don't know if you know this about the guineas, but lasagna.
Are these the guinea pigs or the new guineas? Or
the guineas. So, you know, get the lasagna. I don't even do a good guinea. I'm a guinea and I don't even do a good guinea. But every holiday where white people and other people do the turkey thing,
yeah,
Italians just feel like lasagna. Let's substitute turkey for lasagna on every big holiday. It's
that's
lasagna.
That's how I am at Christmas. That's how I am at Christmas. I want Christmas. We have lasagna.
Do you make lasagna? Your wife's not Italian. She's French.
She makes it. I mean, I can make it as well, but she makes it.
French lasagna. It's like French bread. It's not like the same as Italian bread.
No, it's lasagna. It's regular lasagna with regular lasagna. Now, actually, now we've modified it.
No, it's not guinea made. It can't be any good. It's got for lasagna to be any good. It's got to be. And I don't even.
But we use guinea ingredients.
Oh.
Yeah,
but you gotta. I would get a guinea to come over.
We put we put gravy in our lasagna. That's how good it is.
Ew. Now you probably put ricotta cheese, right? You probably ricotta cheese. You put ricotta cheese in your
no
lasagna.
No. We use Parmesan.
But go ahead, say ricotta.
Actually, what we use is Kraft cheese, processed cheese food slices in the little wrapped plastic singles. That's what we use for our lasagna. It is so good.
Why are people doing this to me? Why are they doing this to me?
All right, and we use authentic homemade Chef Boyardee spaghetti sauce.
You want to my biggest bummer of the bummerness. So yesterday, we were on program, and I got a paint party booked, right? And I was excited because it was across the street from Louis C.K.'s house. No. It actually is Louis C.K.'s paint party. I'm booked for Louis C.K.'s paint party.
Wow! Congratulations.
Except here's the downer part of it.
He's not going to be there.
No, he's going to be there. I'm not going to be there because I'm under contract by Tony Walker to act in a Hawaiian luau.
Okay, when does he need you to do that? Because I will take your place in the Hawaiian luau so you don't miss out on Louis C.K.
Will you? Because I think you could do it. It's June 6th, Friday, June 6th, 7 p.m. in Hicksville, New York.
We could do it in honor of Juneteenth. Friday, June 6th. Let me look at my calendar. I think I can. Yeah, sure. Oh, I said the 7th. I have a graduation party. That's a Saturday.
Did I tell you part is a white woman who's getting married? In my part, I was supposed to be in drag. I'm kidding. I just thought since he likes black guys in drag. Anyway,
I got enough to drag. It's okay.
I think the black guy in drag quit. I think he didn't want to play a white girl, an Italian girl getting married. I don't know, but I think he quit. But no, it's not in drag. But if you want to do it, I don't know. I have to let them know by really soon because they, the Louis C.K. thing, they're probably going to find a substitute for me in the next hour or so, or they might have already found one.
No, take the Louis C.K. gig. First of all, I'm sure Tony would understand. I will. When we go to our next commercial break, I'll check my calendar in the other room.
Right. And then I get fucked out of a gig when I find out they already booked the Louis C.K. thing to somebody else. And now you're doing my little Hawaiian luau thing. And
you can take that back.
All right.
Just fire me.
Oh, so
Let
that's
me.
nice.
So why
You know, it's just surprising that Louis C.K. he doesn't seem like the kind of guy who would want to host a paint party, right?
I'm just upset that you didn't tell
Maybe
me
it's
that
his
you needed
wife.
I'm just upset that you didn't tell me that you needed an assistant for that show so that
Is
I can
he?
come up.
No. If I end up doing it, if you want to come with me and be an assistant, I think it's for 30 people, so it qualifies for assistant pay. I think
Okay.
it's like $35 an hour or something. But I don't think he's married. Steven said maybe it was his wife. Is he married? I thought his wife left him when he was caught jerking.
Maybe, I
jerking
don't
off.
know. I was just thinking. I mean, he
I don't
doesn't
have
seem
to
like the kind
paint,
of guy
right?
that would do a paint party.
No,
I
you
don't
don't
have
have
to
to
paint,
paint.
right?
No,
I can
no, you go around putting out paint for people, pouring it on their little
go
paper
around
plate.
putting out. Okay, I can put out for people.
Yeah, put out.
Said, well, why don't we do that? Well, I'll be your assistant, and then Tony can just find somebody to replace you on the thing.
I would really like to do it. I mean, listen, I'm kind of a fanboy for Louis C.K.
I wouldn't know him from Adam, honestly. He could open the door for me, and I'm being like, thanks. Where does this go?
He'd be the guy with his dick out.
Oh, so we can shake hands then. We can just, hey, how's it going?
It's pretty easy to recognize. He's always got his dick in his hand. Well,
Matt,
you
how
could
about
confuse him with Steven, actually.
I'm gonna drive out to New York. I'm gonna move in with you. I'll do your acting gig. You do the paint gig. I'll shave my head.
First of all, the gig requires a lot of standing up. Sorry. Sorry. I feel like that's kind of
It's ableist. That's fine. No big deal.
discrimination. It's job discrimination, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know because the
make
whole
sure that you
ADA
have-
thing is like as long as they can hire you and they have to make accommodations as long as it doesn't cause undue hardship to the company.
Yeah. First of all, it's a Hawaiian luau thing. I think I'm playing a Hawaiian guy, but in the script, his name is Rupert.
Jose?
Rupert. That doesn't sound like a Hawaiian name, does it?
Oh,
Rupert.
yeah. There are a lot of Ruperts in
Wolf
Hawaii.
from Tonga?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what typical Hawaiian names are.
Wilfred Tonga, probably.
All right.
Well, I'm just going to look at my calendar real quick. You guys,
All right, you look
amongst
at your
yourselves.
calendar. I'll look at my calendar too. Steven, look at your calendar.
I'm looking at my calendar.
All right. Welcome to the We're Looking at Our Calendars program. I'm the chief calendar looker.
Here, let's here's some something for the folks on the radio while we're
Oh, Good Pod just moved us up. We were in the top 100. We're now a top 50 comedy interview podcast.
Oh!
Welcome to Boomer Corner, the only corner that you can get stuck in. Welcome.
I don't like how that ends.
Where you could get sucked in? Is that what it says? Sucked in?
Sounds like it. Yeah, a little bit. You can get sucked in. Yeah.
Sucked into what? Boomer Corner?
Maybe.
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
Hey, do either of you guys want to drive from New York or Maryland to give me a ride to go pick up my car?
No.
Okay.
Speaking of driving and driving, Jake got in touch with me yesterday. Jake, who's directing the big movie about your pizza might be late. Your pizza's gonna be late. Is your pizza might? And it's September. He wants me to be in Ohio, September 4th to September 7th to shoot my part. He's like, "I'll pick you up at the airport." Like, fucking airport. I'm not flying to Ohio. Is Ohio a place I fly to? I thought I'm driving there.
I mean, there's big enough cities to fly into for sure. That may not cost you an arm and a leg, but I mean, depending on where you're going in Ohio from there.
So it may not cost me how much, but I don't like flying in the first place. First of all, I need real ID to fly, right? I don't have real ID.
So
I gotta go get the little. You could trust your card to the man who has a star on his fucking license, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I got mine, so I'd be good. But
you have a real ID?
Mm-hmm.
You did that already?
Yeah, though when I got my new license 2 years ago, I had the option to get it.
No.
Yeah,
They just
look.
no.
No. It's same here. I've had mine it became an option in Maryland. As a matter of fact, I don't even think I had the option.
Because I've had a license. I got mine renewed within the last couple of years. I didn't get.
That's the star right there on the Indiana driver's
I
license.
see the star now, but I think you screwed that on there, like some fucking
screwed it on there.
No, my old one has it too. Look,
some kind of loser motherfucker.
I've had a star on it since.
I don't have no stinking star.
Yeah, then you don't have a good stinking.
This was issued in 2020.
So I can't fly. I cannot fly, right? Without my.
Well, you're not a bird or a bee.
Yeah, so.
Or a wasp.
Here's my my driver's license.
Why do you have a Burger King card?
Somebody gave it to me, and I'm like, you know what? That could come in handy someday. And I've been keeping it in my. It's been in there like 5 years now. Do they expire?
Probably.
You don't even use them anymore. They have coupons that they mail out. You just have to tell them the 4-digit code, and they can nail a coupon.
So
but Matt, just, however you want to play this, I am available on June 6th, so I can be your assistant.
Well, let me, after the program today, I will contact the page company, see if they booked it yet, and see what the deal is. If they put an assistant on, I know it's a show that they would put an assistant on for 30 people, but I'll see if they booked anybody yet. No, okay. But last night we're going through some paperwork and stuff, dealing with and that's code for dealing with my bank. My wife has a check from the bank for $30,000 that she never cashed, and it was dated 2013 or something like that. And
I was going to say, has it expired?
It says void after 90, no good after 90 days. Like she was afraid to cash it because the bank was giving her money back from overpayment or something on mortgage so $30,000 went to waste because she was afraid to cash it. She thought there's some kind of scam here and didn't cash it. And now it's no good. To me, $30,000 is a nice chunk of change that, I don't know. I feel
that sounds like, I don't know. If somebody gave me a check for $30,000, I would go to the bank to see if it was legit. I would.
Yeah,
it would be worth the effort. It would be. It would be worth the effort. Yeah.
Well, it's definitely a legit check, but to see what's up, you call the mortgage company and why are you sending me that? She was suspicious because she wasn't expecting it. It was like an overpayment from when it got refinanced or whatever. She's like, no, they're just trying to steal my house from me. No, they're not trying. Fucking cash the check. Cash the check.
They can't steal anything from you for cashing a check.
Yeah. So it's $30,000. It just
That reminds me of the time I had a $20 money order and I left it and I put it in a drawer and I didn't find it till like a year later, but it was still good, I think. Maybe I found it 6 months later. But I can still use the money order.
Huh. I don't know. Kind of, it's really pointless for me to get all worked up over it. But $30,000 to just thrown away. It's too much. Too much. I'm gonna cry. $30,000. You know how much white weed I could buy with $30,000?
Lots.
Yeah.
Depending on the discount.
Well, I would go to Puspatak.
I don't know. So I don't know how much of a discount you get there.
Oh my God!
You get the employee discount. You get do you get the employee discount? Do you get the complimentary?
No, you just got. I think if you spend over $500, they call the FBI. Like, they think you're dealing or something. I mean, but going to Puspatak definitely shines a light on how much I'm getting ripped off by the regular dispensaries, because it's less than a quarter of the price. It's same exact weed, So the other dispensaries are just fucking ripping you off like big time. I feel like somebody should say this on a radio show or something and let people know. Don't go to the regular dispensaries. Go to Puspatak. Maybe Puspatak would be happy that I said that and give me some
maybe
weed.
Sponsor even.
Right.
But they don't have to be a sponsor because you say it so much for free.
I know. And they don't respond to because I want to do puff and paint parties there. And all of them that I write to, they don't even bother. Listen, this is if you got a dispensary, this is no cost marketing. I create the event, I market it, I get people to sign up for it. They come to your establishment to get high and then probably buy your stuff. How could you lose on that? They don't even get back to me on that. Like, they're not even curious. Yeah, you're going to bring a bunch of people ready to buy from, and then you go down there and the fucking place is empty. It's like, I could have this place full of fucking potheads for you for 2 hours. Nothing. It's a mystery. It's a mystery to me.
It's a mystery and a shame.
I'm willing to bet this is what happened. They got the letters from you or your communication. They went, that is a good idea. What if we talk to Paul? Yeah, the pothead that works the register 90, the one who paints cars. Let's have him do it for us and make it part of his job. And he can do the paint parties, and we won't have to pay Matt the $400.
They don't have to pay me. That's the point I'm getting. They don't have to pay me a cent. I bring people. I make money off of selling the paint party to the people. I like charge them $15 a ticket to come. The place pays nothing to have this event there. It's like, if they have to pay a guy to it, then they're losing out.
Well, that way he's on their payroll already anyway. He's an employee. He's already getting paid.
It's still, they're paying him because he would be doing other things for them during that time. I mean, are you able to? Yeah, sure. Okay, fine. Okay,
but anyway,
yeah, but
let me know about that, and let me know what you think of Robert Taylor's video on YouTube.
What? I haven't seen it. Is it going to get? Have you watched it?
No, I'm not going to watch it. He doesn't even talk to me, you little scum-sucking bastard. I will probably watch it before the next time I go on to Barry Katz's thing.
All right. But so, I want to give it a Ron review. Hey, it's not bad. Or maybe he would say, if Ron were here, maybe he said, hey, it is bad.
See, here's the deal. Here's what's going to happen. If I watch it, I will watch it before the next community thing at the Barry Katz Blueprint for Success club party thing.
All right. Here,
Barry already loves it. Barry, without seeing it, Barry loves it because Barry loves Robert. How'd you get Robert's video already?
We're gonna light up the sky. I'm not sure I can go on.
He's not sure he can go on.
So he didn't. He just stopped.
Yeah. That's all AI stuff. This is Google's new View. A VEO is what a VEO 3. Google, their AI engine. People don't exist. That's to me, that's fucking phenomenal. These people are not real people out there singing opera, doing rock band stuff, acting, comedians and stuff. First of all, it's pretty scary. That at some point in the near future, because we're not that far into it, and it's going very fast. You can see, like 5 years from now, people will be going to full-length feature movies starring people that don't exist.
Well, they tried. Remember, they did that with they're already doing stuff like that with the holograms and like the George Carlin thing. They did with George Carlin, Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, and
yeah, the hologram things. Yeah, but
when they did it with the holograms and the AI, just marry AI and hologram, and next thing you know.
So, and now I know how much you hate this stuff, but the question I have for you, as creators, I could see creators hating it, but do you think consumers, because a lot of consumers won't be able to tell the difference already, do you think consumers will fucking care? I don't care that these people.
Most consumers probably won't care. I mean, they don't. If they don't care about something as important as their actual life, and how politics affects it, they're not going to give a shit about AI as long as they're entertained.
I agree. I was watching this lawyer. She's a music lawyer, and she's talking about the copyright crisis of AI just using people's stuff and apparently a lot of the music creation stuff, like it is going to real artists, sampling little bits of it and putting that into the computer, and then reusing, like taking the stems out, reusing parts and putting it into stuff.
Wait a minute. If you take the stems out, then you have nothing but whole notes. I mean, you need the stems so you can have like quarter notes and stuff like that. That doesn't even make sense, man. Why would they take the stems out of the music?
Obviously, Mr. Flowerhead can't think of what stems mean in terms of the music business. And
Guys, I'll be back in just a couple minutes.
No, you won't.
Yeah, and we won't even miss you. Go ahead.
What are you going to do?
Put your bass on the microphone. Your bass has more to contribute. Go ahead, bass.
Yeah,
I'll bring the bass up.
You should go to minddogtv.com/guitar and learn how to play that fucking thing. All right, get out. All right.
He's putting his bass on camera. Oh, never mind.
What do you think he's going to do? Something that. What do you think?
He's probably going. It's so sudden. It's either the bathroom or somebody just knocked on the door. They want to deliver something.
I didn't hear anybody knock on the door. When we hear somebody knock on the door.
Hey, bass, how's it going?
Oh, you put the bass there.
What? I can't believe it. He touches you where? Oh my God, that sounds like rape. That sounds like rape. Did you report this?
Can we hold on a second? Let me see. What's on them? Steven's sleeping on that couch back there? I mean, what are we? Move that fucking bass now. I don't know.
I hope he's not sleeping on. Those are pink slippers right over there.
That's I know. Girls' shoes. I'm a little curious what's going on back there. Aren't you a little curious what's going on back there? Let's get that out. We don't need to look at his dopey bass. Do you need to look at his dopey bass? No, you don't.
I can't stand it for it to tell me all those the things that Steven does to him. We're not watching.
Yeah. What the fuck was I going to say? I forget.
You're just going to talk about Robert Taylor's video that you just watched.
Oh, yeah, Robert Taylor. Should I find it and play it here? Or will I be able to?
Actually, I can find the link and send it to you so you don't have to go searching for it. But it's on his YouTube page. So I thought since the two of you were so close that you knew you were already like a subscriber on his YouTube page.
I'm a little hurt by the fact that he just told me to go fuck myself without really actually saying go fuck myself. I mean, I prefer he actually said go fuck myself and tell me what for.
I said I just sent him a note saying I'll mention it on Coffee with the Dog. You remember Matt, right? So
now last week I put on Facebook a paint party today, Tanner Park, for those people who are my age. Somebody who I know just said he's going there. He's got to bring boots because it's raining. It's raining down there. But I'm just got to tell him it was last week, you fucking idiot.
Oh yeah, okay. It was last week, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, right. Come on. You see something on Facebook just because it says today. Look at the date.
Yeah, I found an invitation for in my car. This is fun. It was in my car, and it was an invitation for a Hawaiian luau barbecue cookout or something. And it said Saturday. And at what time, but it didn't say the date. So I didn't know if it was something I'd missed or something that I had something to look forward to. Because there was no date, just the day and the time. And so I posted the picture of the invitation on Facebook saying, is anybody familiar with this? Can you tell me the date? Nobody knew that could tell me that anything about it except for the fact that they misspelled Hawaiian.
Oh,
they said don't go. They misspelled Hawaiian. I'm like, oh wow,
that's kind of disrespectful. You're having a Hawaiian luau and you don't even take the time to figure out how to spell Hawaii or Hawaiian or whatever.
Yeah. I was like, I don't think it had enough eyes. I didn't see it. Because I was focused on the fact that it didn't have a date, just a day and a time. Saturday, 1 p.m. or something like that.
So text me the link to Robert Taylor's thing. I can't find shit. Dan Benoingo Bongino. You know that Dan Bongino, he's assistant director.
Yeah. And he's Cash Patel's fluffer.
Cash Patel. But Boningo Bongino, Boingo guy.
Boingo. Yeah,
Bongino. He had a very popular podcast. It was like one of like Rogan numbers he was pulling. for like 5 years. And for like the entire 5 years, he would talk about Epstein didn't kill himself. He was off by the deep state, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you know. And now that he's assistant director of FBI, he comes out and says, I looked at the paperwork and he definitely killed himself. Case closed. And a lot of the Republican people who are conspiracy theorists like, oh, they got to him. He's been compromised. They're blackmailing him with stuff. Like, but I feel like every conspiracy theory he's been pushing for the last however many years he on his podcast, he's going to come forth and say, you know what, I looked into it. It's all because every Epstein thing is case closed. He didn't kill himself, according to both of those guys, who were both saying, oh, yeah, deep state definitely killed him. Now, I'm not on their side on a lot of things, but I always thought that you know, the Epstein thing did not pass the sniff test at all. I mean, first of all, he wasn't depressed about anything. He wasn't convicted of anything yet. And the cameras going off just conveniently like he didn't know the cameras weren't on, right? So he just he happened to pick the time when nobody was watching to off himself. And they had him in a cell with the guy who, the guy was a fucking gorilla. He was one of these fucking he was an ex-cop he was in there for killing 4 guys with his bare hands.
What a savage.
Yeah. What's this? Did somebody take a shit? What happened? Oh, that's
no,
Steven.
I didn't take a shit. No.
Oh no, that's Steven. So I never believed that Epstein killed himself, but now these guys who were pushing the thing that Epstein definitely didn't kill himself. Oh, he killed himself. Case closed. And the base is turning on these guys like, oh, they're part of the deep state now. They've been compromised. So I wouldn't be surprised to see everything. Like, we're going to come out that, no, Michelle Obama is really a woman. JFK Jr. is really dead. And Hillary Clinton didn't kill him. All these conspiracy theories, they're gonna come out and say didn't happen now. And we got 5 years of him on tape saying he's one of the guys who was pushing it. I don't know, it's just interesting to me. Like, and
going back to Robert Taylor for a second, I can see a new video. He unless it said May 22nd, which is today. The newest thing on there is 9 months old from the Burbank Comedy Festival.
Wow. He's back in California. So I guess, did he move out there?
I don't know, but that's from 9 months ago.
Oh.
So I don't know why he would be just saying the thing about the thing that he just said.
They just sent him the tape and he chopped it up a little bit. That's why.
Could be, but it's been posted from 9 months ago. No, it was posted 9 months ago.
Oh.
And the message that he put in there said he was making it May 22nd.
Is this did he send it to the Barry Katz group thing or something?
Yeah, Barry Katz meetups, and he didn't put a link in. So, I mean, when I put things there, I either upload the actual video or I put a link so that people can, go to it. I don't make people work this hard, Robert. I'm sorry. That's very irresponsible of you. So no, I'm not going to promote your video, you douchebag.
So we're
not nothing personal. It's just that you don't invite people to do things and then make it this hard for them so they have to work for it. We're trying to support you.
I have to agree with you.
Make it easier to support you. Don't do this, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, you may hate my comedy, but at least I make it accessible.
It's true. You do. In fact, it's so accessible I could get to it.
Did Abby ever get back to you about anything? Because she'll say yeah, but then when it comes down to doing something,
who you say, Abby?
Abbey Road, yeah.
Road. She got back to me. We're going to do. She's going to do Don't Way Past Funny in June.
Oh, she's going to do your show, but she's not letting you come to her place.
I didn't ask to come to her place because I thought under the old rules, I thought that what's his face was going to come there. Jason.
Jackie?
Jason.
Oh, Jason. Yeah, no, she just dropped that, right? Oh, I know Jason. I worked with him in the past, blah, blah, blah. And then nothing, right?
Right. So
this is her MO.
So
I don't know if you know this about MO, but MO stands for method of operation.
Once I get on the show, I won't put her on the spot on the show because that'll be rude. But after the show in the green room, I can talk to her about it. because I don't even want to make the interview itself awkward. After the interview, I'll ask her about it.
I just feel like listen, I know she's not all talk. She's done things. She's done movies. She's done the Hamptons Comedy Festival. But it feels to me like everything I get involved with is just all talk and no action. And I feel like there's no budget.
Maybe it's because you described her as not attractive.
You heard
somebody asked you if she was hot, and you said,
Jackie. This is Jackie's. This is a terrible way to go through life. You're only going to talk. The first thing you find out it's a female, and your first question, it's a business opportunity. Your first question is she hot? Like that's your criteria if you're going to pursue this any further. That's it. You're a pig. You're a misogynist pig if you're doing that, right, Steven?
Well, why would you massage pigs?
Shit, yes, but it's worked out for him, hasn't it?
No. What do you mean it's worked out for him? You think he's
had a long career.
He's had a long career, a bunch of success.
And his house has been in a lot of movies.
So, I mean, if that's his first question, it seems to be doing okay for him.
I mean, his house has been in more movies than I have. His house probably has a better agent than I do, too.
He had to tongue kiss Florence Henderson on film with mustard all over his face. That sounds like a description of Dante's Inferno.
Sounds like one of Ron's favorite porn.
What kind of mustard? Is it Grey Poupon? Because that might be worth it.
I don't think so.
I'll tongue kiss Florence Henderson. You give me some Grey Poupon.
Oh,
but if it's that Gulden shit,
don't say how. I know I brought it up, but don't
French
say
is mustard.
Florence Henderson ever again. Oh, it makes my stomach turn. Let's play news and get ready for Ken Tantarelli. I don't know. This is going to be a boring hour, isn't it? I'm already bored.
Iran has announced it will continue enriching uranium despite upcoming indirect talks with the United States scheduled in Rome.
The U.S. insists that Iran must halt enrichment activities, a condition not included in the 2015 nuclear agreement. Since the U.S. exited the deal in 2018, Iran has increased enrichment levels to 60%, nearing weapons grade. The talks aim to limit Iran's nuclear program in exchange for sanctions relief, but prospects for a resolution remain uncertain. Lawrence Keller reporting.
German authorities have arrested 5 teenagers accused of plotting attacks as part of a far-right group called Last Defense Wave. The group allegedly aimed to destabilize Germany's democratic system by targeting migrants and political opponents.
Police conducted raids across multiple locations, seizing weapons and propaganda materials. Officials say the suspects were in the early stages of planning violent acts. The arrests highlight growing concerns over youth radicalization and the resurgence of extremist ideologies in Europe. Benjamin Wright reporting.
A suicide car bombing targeted a school bus in southwestern Pakistan, resulting in the deaths of 4 children and injuries to at least 38 others.
Authorities report that the explosion happened as the bus was transporting students home. No group has claimed responsibility, but local officials suspect separatist insurgents or Islamist militants. The injured have been taken to nearby hospitals, and an investigation is underway to identify the perpetrators. Joseph Eckerson reporting.
Fleet Week 2025 begins today in New York City, featuring ship tours, free concerts, and Memorial Day parades. The event honors U.S. Navy Marine Corps and Coast Guard personnel.
Visitors can explore vessels docked along the Hudson River and attend various public events. Fleet Week offers an opportunity for civilians to engage with service members and learn about maritime operations. The festivities run through Memorial Day weekend. Liam White reporting.
The U.S. Justice Department has moved to cancel police reform settlements with Minneapolis and Louisville, agreements established after the deaths of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor.
Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dillon criticized federal oversight as burdensome, advocating for local control of reforms. Civil rights groups condemned the move, viewing it as a step back from accountability. Despite federal withdrawal, both cities have pledged to continue implementing local police reforms. Kyle Norris reporting.
President Donald Trump is hosting South African President Cyril Ramaphosa at the White House amid tensions.
I don't know what the acronym would be for man. Is that somebody else?
No, it's stuck on a loop.
Fucking Steven with his button pushing.
No, it's looping. It's looping.
Steven with
his
button
loopy.
Pushing.
It's a looper flooper.
MAKNGA, right? What is that? MAKNGA.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Well,
What's in the
why are you doing that?
It's only supposed to go one time.
Yeah. What is that?
What's in the box? What's in the box? It's from the movie Seven.
They're upset now because police departments were like, let's not kill black people anymore, right?
What are they going to do with all their time?
Because the thing is, it's almost hunting. It's almost hunting season for blacks.
Yeah.
And so they're right now. They're like, what are they going to do? They can't hunt us, during the summer months.
So Macagnaga. It's make killing niggas great again.
Right.
Macagnaga. I don't know. It just sounds. Now Trump was in the Oval Office yelling at the president of South Africa about white genocide, killing the white people, and all this. And they showed, according, I haven't fact checked this, but according to all the stuff I read, Trump showed them fake mass graves, that kind of like an AI mass grave.
Yeah, it was just fake shit.
So he's doing that in New York. Somebody said that's an impeachable offense. Like, no, president's lying is not an impeachable. If that were the case, every fucking president ever would have been impeached.
Right.
Lying in the Oval Office is not an impeachable offense. But
now, if he lied under oath, that's different.
Yeah.
I heard that the dude from Africa made a rib about not having a plane to give him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He felt bad about not. Yeah. I don't have a plane, but so he's making up this white genocide. Now, these people these white.
I don't want to give Trump credit for making it up because it's been a myth for a while now. And so I think he's just buying into it. You send Trump like the knuckles with the M13 on the hand, and he sees it and he wants to believe it, so it becomes real instantly.
Well, I think he made that stuff up. He's like, because he saw the tattoos on the knuckles, and then he told somebody, spell it out, but make it say MS-13 on there, and I think that part he made up.
I thought somebody put it on there and spelled it out for him. So that that stands for M, this stands for S, this stands for 1, that stands for 3. And so then he sees it and goes, yeah, it's real.
Yeah. So this mass grave thing has been going around for a long time.
Well, the white genocide of South Africans, white South Africans, that's been a myth for quite a few years now.
Right. So Marco Rubio says that we're always going to act in what's in best interest of America, and bringing white refugees is in the best. He actually said that bringing these white people is in the best interest of America. And he said to the Democrat who was questioning him, you just don't like them because they're white. And he's a white guy. I was like, well, imagine if it was like turned around and you said, you just don't like they're bringing in black people, and it was a black person and said, you just don't like them because you're black. Like it makes no sense. Like, what are you trying to say here? But apparently, white farmers is in the best interest of America, and that makes no sense to me. We have enough farmers. The problem is farmers can't make a living in America. They're all starving because of all the trade deals and all that stuff. So they can't make a living. We don't need more white farmers, right? So how is that?
Yeah, they can't make a living without subsidies.
Right. So how is bringing in more white farmers necessarily in the best interest of America? That doesn't make any sense. What does that say?
It says Steven has an MS-13 tat on his dong, but that's just because it's 13 millimeters.
No,
yeah, from your lips. Anyway.
13 millimeters. Wow. I don't have any tattoos because I'm afraid of needles.
I
needle in my dick.
I have weren't terrible. I know they're gonna hurt in more places, but
what do you mean? What do you mean?
Well, I'm sure they're gonna hurt like on the bottoms of my arms, or like
bottom of your feet would really hurt.
On my wrists, or collarbone.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the girl with the dragon tattoo?
Is that a name of a
I seen a
movie?
girl with a Homer tattoo on her vagina.
No, I mean there's a movie called Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Oh no.
So the book series is a 3-book series, but the movie, the tattoos rapist on a guy's chest.
Is now he's Falmouth is talking about piercings. Is it the thing with these kids 10, 15 years ago? The big thing with these people Steven's age was to have their fucking earlobes stretched so they could put these fucking weird, I don't know, things.
Mine were stretched.
Yeah.
Not huge. They were about the size of dimes.
And did you put those like? Yeah, Davy Do has one that's like the size of a $50 in there.
Oh no, I didn't go that. My brothers are that big. My actual little brothers are that big, and so is one of my friends. But no, mine were about the size of dimes. And then I was like, I'm good, because I saw how big theirs got, and they, one buddy had to get his surgically fixed because they were too big to go back. So I'm like, I'm good. So
too big. That's the thing. Like Davy Do, he's turning 40 now. And he's still got them, and he's gonna be an old man. It's gonna be like, Grandpa's got some weird.
Momo has them. If you like, Momo has them, and when he doesn't have plugs in, they look like droopy buttholes.
So the kids are over that now. That was my question.
No,
like,
they're not over that. It's still
still
a thing.
doing it.
It's
like 17-year-olds, 18-years.
Yeah. Why? Do they know their culture? I mean, because they, they.
Well, we also are living in a world where, like, even in like retail and in like professional settings, tattoos and piercings are accepted. So a lot of people are getting them because they know they can still somewhat live a normal life with them.
So why can't our kids be more like the kids in Germany, just blowing up migrants instead of stretching out their ears? Now that was a weird thing in the news. Now they have. Cause I don't know I think most kids in the United States are just apathetic. They're just too apathetic to become radicalized and bombing stuff. Most of our bombers are guys white guys like 30 years old or something, right? We don't have
30-year-olds bombing places and then white kids shooting up schools.
Yeah, kids. The motif here for kids is to shoot up a school, not to bomb stuff and become radicalized in that way.
I remember it used to be enough to TP a place.
Yeah. Or like flaming dog shit or eggs.
Or put a greased pig in the building. And then
unfortunately, almost
Steven
my
loves
whole
that
life,
flaming dog shit stuff.
Almost my whole life, school shootings have been a thing, though. Like the first school shooting I remember being in the news was Columbine. And then it just was all the time after that.
Yeah. Now those guys, I was watching a video because the video I was watching the other day is footage that have gone missing, and those guys in Columbine actually had some plannings. They had a whole trove, an archive of videos of them planning it and all that stuff.
I've seen
and
a lot of
nobody
them,
can find that stuff anymore. It's gone missing.
There's you can find chunks of it on YouTube. I've seen the chunks that you can find. Yeah. It's creepy stuff to watch.
Right.
My curiosity is that, well, I wonder now, in hindsight, did we mishandle it in the press? Because so many kids wanted to emulate it. And I'm wondering did it get sensationalized to the point where people wanted to emulate it? Should we have handled it differently in the press?
Colonel Mike says, I don't like Mondays. Didn't age well. What am I missing there? Was that part of the Columbine thing or what? Yeah.
I don't know.
Colonel Mike, you gotta. He doesn't like to be addressed as Colonel. He doesn't like anybody to know.
Well, because his promotion.
Right. But you have to elaborate, and because we're stupid. I know Boomtown Rats, but why are we talking about Boomtown Rats now? I'm lost, but I'm easily lost. Colonel Mike went to the Land of Enchantment recently. I don't know if you know that about Colonel Mike, but he was in Taos and ABQ in the 505, as we like to say, the old 505. I think they got an extra area code now. For many years, the entire state of New Mexico had one area code, 505. I think they have a new one now. Mondays used to be code for black people. Wow. I did not know that. Mondays used to be. Did you know this, GD? And you've been keeping it from me? You Monday bastard?
Yeah. Yeah. You porch Monday?
Doesn't sound familiar to me.
No, I would call it Friday. My man Friday, right?
I don't know.
Robinson Crusoe had My Man Friday.
Because in military, let me see, military M is, I'm trying to think here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't do it.
I think he must have heard something else mispronounced. Mondays with black people? I don't know. They don't see. Yeah. Anyway, Friday's a black guy. My Man Friday.
Why? Because he's fun.
No, because that's what Robinson Crusoe had. He had a Man Friday, and it was a it's a Benny type of Rochester kind of black dude. My Man Friday. Ken Dorelli's here. Let's get to him. How about that? Because he's probably ready to run away after hearing this.
Let's do it.
Ken Dorelli was born into an Italian-American family. That's his problem. It's also my problem. His first introduction. Now, this is a strange bio for an author, but I think it's worthwhile here. First introduction to anything Italian. For me, it was before The Godfather. It was food. I don't know if you know this about Italians, but they're big on food, like lasagna and stuff. His family enjoyed fresh figs from his father's trees in the summer and homemade lasagna throughout the year, especially on holidays. Any turkey holiday we substitute with. He just ran away. Oh, no, he's there. That's enough of it. His book out is called The Blackest Time. It's a historical fiction about the Black Plague in Florence, Italy. Good morning, Ken. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for having me. I'm having a good day. How are you today?
You know what? I can complain. I'm a natural born complainer. So if you invite me to complain, I will. So let's not go there. But I'm going to complain now since you invited me. It's cold as hell here. Where are you? What part of the country are you in?
I'm in New Hampshire.
Yeah. So it's cold as hell there too. And you're expecting a nor'easter, right?
It's 43 degrees here. Where are you located?
I'm on Long Island, and this is not typical Memorial Day weekend weather, even though it's Thursday. It's not really the weekend, but it's wintertime here. It's like I'm not loving it.
I agree with you.
Yeah. Now I want to bring up the book, and I have your website going across there. You're writing about historical fiction. Have you been to Florence? Because we talked about your Italian heritage, and the book is set in Florence, Italy. Have you been there and chose that for a setting for reasons of familiarity?
Oh, I've been there many times. Yes. In fact, my interest started when my wife and I first took a trip to Florence, and I found it just awe-inspiring to see the things that people lived with hundreds and hundreds of years ago. I stood in the cathedral in Florence, and that cathedral stood open-topped without a dome for almost 100 years because no one knew how to build a dome that large. So, I mean, just seeing that was amazing. And
Wow.
After that first trip, we went back pretty much every year. We went to a different part of Italy, but always going to Florence and Rome.
Wow.
Did your wife speak Italian? Because you did not learn Italian as a child because you didn't speak it in your household. Did your wife speak Italian?
No, neither one of us did initially, but when we were doing all those trips over there, we enrolled in some classes. So we studied Italian language and culture in Rome and in Perugia, which is a town in Umbria.
Wow.
Now, since your book is historical fiction, is the Italian verbiage or the sayings that they used in Florence back then during the Black Plague, is that very different from the Italian or the way it's spoken now?
It's actually not that much different. No, ever since Dante Alighieri really is the one who started Italian, really, when he wrote the Divine Comedy. Italian has pretty much remained the same. Now, different parts of the country have different dialects, and they're very different.
Italy wasn't a country, right, until like the late 19th century, right?
You're absolutely right. Yeah, very few people know that, but you're right. It wasn't. It was a bunch of different city-states.
Right. So Florence was its own city-state, right?
Yeah, Florence was the Republic of Florence, and it occupied all of what's today Tuscany. So Florence was the capital, but it went all the way out to the coast where Pisa is now.
So my question about that is, the Italian people all think of us as one in Italian Americans. Well, you're Italian, but we weren't all the same. We were kind of separate. Our ancestry, anyway, was separate over there, right? We weren't
Separate and unequal.
separate and unequal. Yeah,
Yeah, it was. That's true. Separate and unequal. Yeah.
yeah. It's just an interesting thing to me that once we got here and became Italian Americans, all of a sudden, as long as you were close enough.
Well,
It's
the
just
people, when they got here, they needed to support each other. So they formed communities and
good
they
point.
were more alike than they were with other people. So, yeah, they got together.
Right. Where'd your family was it New York or another part of the country where you settled?
No, my family settled in New Jersey.
New Jersey. That's in New York, right? That's Florence is Rome and Florence is Italy, New York and New Jersey are the same thing. Long
Pretty
Island.
much.
Yeah. All right. So now we were trying to figure out the Black Plague because we're not historians here, and school was a long time ago. The Black Plague, did it start in Europe or did it start in Asia? Where did it start?
Well, as far as we're concerned about it, yes, it started in Europe. I think what we learned in school probably was that it came on ships from the Middle East, and that it was spread by rats, or at least the fleas that lived on rats.
Right.
And that's probably all most people remember about the plague. We probably don't remember from school how bad it was. I mean, in Florence, the city, it had 120,000 people or so before the plague struck, and it lost 60% of that population. So it dropped down to like 50,000 people after the plague. And believe it or not, the plague in Florence was a short time. It lasted only about 6 months. So that devastation happened very rapidly. And it actually took about 150 years before the population could recover to that pre-plague time of over 100,000. So
Wow.
it was a devastating time for the people.
I'm sure. It's a very long time. And now, give me again. I'm embarrassing myself here by not knowing this, but the exact time frame. What are we talking? 1200 or something? 1400?
1300s.
No, the plague struck Florence in 1348. But interestingly, my book starts 3 years before that because there were some real historical events that made it attractive to start the book then.
So now developing the characters from that time set, that's got to be a challenge for you, going back and kind of fictionalizing characters and conversations that might have taken place from that time. A difficult thing to do, or did you have to do a lot of research for that? What was your approach to that?
I do a lot of research. I before I wrote this book, I wrote a 6-book historical mystery series, and I did a lot of research for that as well. In fact, it was researching for that I got back further in time, and that took me to the time of the Black Plague. But the characters, no, the characters are not any different from us. In fact, that's really one of the points of the book, is that those people lived in primitive times. They didn't have the technology and the science that we have today, but the people were just like us. They had the good qualities we have of ambition. They loved each other and all. They had bad qualities of greed and jealousy. So they weren't much different from us.
Did they did they have lasagna every holiday like we doing it? I was trying to explain to these guys Christmas and Thanksgiving. Yeah, there's a turkey there, but the turkey's not the dish. Lasagna's the dish. We're waiting for the lasagna. Was that a thing there or not?
Your family, if they did that, was the same as mine. We always had lasagna as the first course at Thanksgiving, and then the turkey. But obviously, no, they didn't do that in Florence in the 1300s because they didn't have tomatoes. They didn't have tomato sauce. The tomatoes came from the New World, and so they didn't get tomatoes until after Columbus, until about the 1500s.
See, he's from Jersey. He said sauce, unlike TD, who says gravy. Well, and TD.
I only say gravy because I heard other Italian people say I wasn't Italian enough unless I called it gravy.
Right.
Well, you're right. I didn't want to give it away, but you're absolutely right. That's what my family called it.
What compelled you to write this book about that time?
Well, again, it was the way people reacted to the plague, and to
You mean
the other.
dying?
Sorry?
You mean dying? That reaction?
Dying is the way they reacted.
Well,
Definitely.
guys too, but the women as well. I mean, there are a lot of themes in the book I have, and one of the themes is the main character is Gino. He's a farm boy who goes to the city, and what we see are his experiences, and we see how other people are. But he brings his sister to the city as well, and so we see her viewpoint on things. I mean, she's a naive farm girl, and suddenly she comes to Florence and sees how different it is for the women there. I mean, she's 14 years old, and women, girls, a year older than her are married already, and so she's growing up throughout the book. And
Yeah.
yet, Gino, she's always his little sister. He's always protective of her, always his little sister.
The idea, because 5 years ago we had a pandemic in the world, and it changed people's behaviors in certain ways that we probably won't even truly recognize for another couple of decades when we look back and say, well, that it definitely had a long-lasting impact. Did the plague make people like paranoid towards each other, or create a distrust, or what, this whole thing, and just really pull people apart, or was it a unifying event?
No, you are absolutely right. I mean, if you think back to the COVID pandemic, initially we didn't know what caused it. We didn't know if it escaped from a lab in China or from a food market. We didn't know how it spread, whether it spread through the air or contact. People were talking about different remedies, and some of them were dangerous, many of them ineffective. We didn't know what to believe, and it's exactly the same as it was in Florence at the time. The people just didn't know what they thought that the plague was caused by bad air.
Yeah.
And Gino worked in an apothecary shop, which is like a pharmacy, and apothecary shops at that time not only sold medicines, but they sold other things like perfumes and pigments for artists and so forth. And people would come into the apothecary shop asking Gino for perfumes. They wanted the strongest perfume they could get in order to dispel the bad air of the plague.
Now,
And
did they think it was
That
bad
seems
air?
bizarre, right?
My understanding was that initially most of them thought it was a curse from God. And so did the bad air things start after they decided
That
God
rings true with me. But I always thought that was like a British thing, like I don't know, the Church of England or something was kind of pushing that narrative that it was a plague from God. Is there some truth to that?
Well, no, in Florence too, they believed that it was a plague from God. In fact, one of the themes in the book is the church from Rome sent monks to Florence looking for witches and devil worshippers who they thought had made God angry and brought the plague upon them. And
Wow.
again, we see through Gino that a friend of his was accused of witchcraft, and he had to get her out of the city before the monks got a hold of her.
Wow, this is, when you say it only lasted in Florence for 6 months, now that's not the rule, that's the exception, right? In most places it lasted a couple of years or something, right? Or several years, or am I wrong about that?
No, actually, it lasted a short time in any given place, but it moved around Europe, and it lasted for like 7 years in Florence, in Europe, but it moved around from one place to another, from England to France to Italy.
I'm so curious about how they finally eradicated it, because it wasn't like the time that we have now, where there is a concerted government effort or even a community effort to get rid of it, and the medicine certainly wasn't advanced in the day. how did it come to end, or it just naturally ended, or just like killed enough people and moved on? The plague itself just said, we killed enough. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, believe it or not, we still don't know what caused it to subside. It didn't totally go away, though. What happened is it went away, and then it would come back years later. And every time it came back, it would be less intense than before. It did less damage than before. But it went on until the 1700s, I think.
Wow.
Different waves.
Don't people still get isolated cases of it today?
Yeah, and Texas and New Mexico last year, I think there was a slight outbreak of it, and they were blaming armadillos.
Yep, you're right. Absolutely true.
Yeah. Wow. So is part of the purpose that you wrote this to educate people about this, or is it? Did you just do it purely for your own interest in being interested in the subject? Are you like? Do you have a motive behind it, a motivation behind it to educate people about the period, or was it just a entertainment piece?
Well, it's not to educate people about the plague, but what I found when I started doing research was these stories about the people and how they responded. I mentioned, the witchcraft, and that was just one example, but there were other things happening too that just made it interesting. I'll give you a couple examples. Well, the wealthy people, for example, they tried to flee the city. They would take their families and they would leave, and they would go in carriages, and they would have a couple of carriages with their family in it, and then it would be followed by wagons with their stuff that they thought they would need, and they'd go to their villas in the hills outside the city. Well, gamblers, for example, would gather at the gate leading out of the city, and when they saw carriages coming toward them, they would take bets on who was in the carriage, which family it was. They bet on was the guy's mistress with him. So, I mean, it's those kind of reactions. I just found more and more of those different kinds of reactions of the people, and I found that was fascinating to me, and I thought other people would find that interesting as well. So it's not a history book at all.
All right, that kid, with historical fiction, I have always, and I'm a broken record about this, I have a difficult time separating the history from the fiction, because somebody will write something and it will be based on historical fact or something, and then I will argue as if that was definitely like a history professor told me it, when it's really part of a fiction novel. And it's separating the two, the history from the fiction, has always been a difficult part of me. Would you say this book is very light on history, or 50-50, or
It's light on history in terms of the day-to-day events. There are three aspects of history that figure into the book. One is, of course, the plague itself. But before the plague, there were 2 years of intense rain, and that rain wiped out the crops in the countryside and caused famine in the city. So that aspect of the famine before the plague, that's in the book. And even before that, when Gino's first coming to Florence, there's a triple conjunction of planets in the sky, Jupiter, Saturn, and Mars. And the astrologers said that's an ominous thing. It means something terrible is going to happen. They didn't know what was going to happen, but something terrible was. So those three facts, the plague, the famine, and the prophecy, are about the only real historical facts you would see as history. The rest of it is seeing the behavior of the people, the doctors trying to treat the plague. Well, they know they couldn't cure the plague, but they tried to get people so that they wouldn't catch the plague.
Right.
I don't really try and separate the history, and maybe it's more fun if you don't try and separate the history and the fiction.
Yeah, but then you get idiots like me thinking I just read a history book, and then I'm arguing with people about stuff that was actually
Pay attention to what section you're picking the book up out of.
Yeah. Well, it's my fault. But I always say I would like a disclaimer or footnote to say this part is made up because I'm stupid that way. But
Usually
it's
the word fiction will tell you, but
oh, really? I did
Yeah,
not
maybe
know
we
that.
need a forward in books in
Yeah.
historical fiction to say which parts are fiction and which aren't. Maybe we
What you
should
do
that.
is it's easy. You know how in some Bibles the words that Jesus are attributed to Jesus are in red and everything else is in black. You do the same thing. The actual history is in red, and the fictitious stuff is in black. It will
Yeah.
cost a book a few more dollars, but you know.
It
Hey,
seems
that
it
might be
seems to
something.
me there's a lot of parallels to today's world in this thing, and some. I don't know if we're heading back into superstition and all this stuff, but I think we are. In some ways, we just don't know what to believe and what is true, and it seems like that period it was very unsure, and it feels like we're back. There's a lot to be learned from that, parallels that could be applied to today's society. Yes, you think?
Yeah, that's true. I was just thinking of another incident, and when you mentioned it's hard to tell what's true, one of the sets in the book is, or the episodes is, the cemeteries get filled with people. They're dying so fast. And the church law said that people had to be buried in consecrated ground and they had to be buried in coffins. And it turns out they ran out, the cemeteries were consecrated, but there was no more space. They didn't have enough wood to build coffins, and they didn't have enough grave diggers to dig graves. So
Wow.
they ended up having to bury people in just wrapped in shrouds and bury them in mass graves on church grounds because that's all they could do. So there's a case where that's all true, but I could see when you read the book, you'd wonder, is it really true or not? Did he make it up?
Yeah. Um, Now, what's any chance of surviving, or was it 100%? If you got it, you died.
Yeah, if you got it, you died.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that would make people paranoid too. Well, you're piling up bodies and you're thinking you can catch it from the dead bodies too, right? So people there had to be a total panic.
Yes, indeed it was. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. As I say, the doctors, they knew they couldn't treat people. There was nothing they could do. But they thought that people would, if at that time they believed in something that started with the Greeks. I think it started with Hippocrates, the four humors of the body. And they believed that if the body fluids were imbalanced, you were less susceptible to any kind of disease. So the doctors tried to treat people to make them the humors in balance. And the reason they did that was they saw cases where in a family, everybody in the family would die from the plague except one person. And the only way they could explain it was to say that person must have had their humors in balance.
If you're just tuning in, the name of the book, The Blackest Time. Now, is the book out now, or is it September? Because on your website, I think it says coming in September, right?
Yeah, I have to tweak my website. It is coming in September, but it is available for pre-order now.
Pre-order now. So, and this is your bag, historical fiction, right? This is basically what you write. Do you know who is your, because I would think, and if I just had to guess, I would say most of your readership is probably male history guys, or am I wrong about that? Do you know?
Well, of course, I can't judge from this book, but from the historical mystery series that I wrote, believe it or not, most of the readers are women.
Because mysteries, they like that,
Yeah.
and so
And
it.
these are not tough mysteries. I mean, I don't have a lot of killing and stuff. It's fairly calm mysteries. I mean, there are deaths and there are assassins and stuff, but it's not brutal mystery, and that appeals to the women apparently.
Yeah. Well, I think in general, and here I'll get in trouble for generalizing again, but I think um, women are more readers than men. And when it comes to books, men will read a Wikipedia paragraph and think they know everything, but men don't as a general rule, men are slower to pick up books these days. I just feel like men are just more men are getting attention deficit disorder or whatever it is, and women still enjoy reading, and the process of getting lost in a book, for lack of a better way to describe the experience.
Yes, you folks could tell me maybe. I understand the trend also is people want to read shorter books.
Right.
That yeah, so that shorter novels are more of interest and selling better than longer ones.
Yeah. Do you do audiobooks? Are they available in audiobooks?
My historical mystery series is available as audiobooks, and The Blackest Time will be available as an audiobook. It is not yet.
As an author, how do you feel about people reading your listening to your book rather than reading it? Do you care? Or because to me, if I took the time to put all the time and energy into it and writing it, I want people to experience it in the way it's intended to be experienced, not in this passive way. Do you care at all?
No, to me, matters the environment that people are in. I know a lot of people who listen to my books do a lot of driving during the day. They commute to work or something, and they like to listen to a book while they're driving, and that makes sense to me. I can
Yeah.
understand that.
I guess I don't know. For me, I'm old fashioned. Look at me calling myself old fashioned. But there's something different about the way a read book hits you than a listen to book. For me, I don't know, on an emotional level, on a spiritual level, all that kind of stuff.
I get from people that, in terms of being old fashioned, that the old fashioned people say they like to read the physical book, a paperback or hardcover, and they don't want anything to do with ebooks. Now, I
Yeah.
don't know whether that's a generational thing or not, but
Yeah.
I see that difference.
Yeah. Now, when you, because I've been listening to a creative a guy who he talks about the creative process a lot, and he's on YouTube. And I'm going to get him on the program. His name is Dwayne. I can't remember his last name. His name is Dwayne. But he talks about great artists and great creators of all time. He said when they create with one person, an audience of one, writing for or painting for or composing for an audience of one person, one set of ears. Does that ring true to you? Do you, when you're writing, who do you think you're writing for?
I suppose that means maybe I'm not a great creator because I never thought of it that way. No, when I'm writing, I need to have a fair amount of time to write. I can't write for 10 minutes and stop. I have to really get into the story. But the way I get into it is visualizing it. Like I can almost see the events happening in my mind, and what I'm doing is really recording what I'm seeing. So that's how it works out for me.
Well, to take away from some of that doubt you were having about whether you're great, well, you're an award-winning guy, so obviously you're very good. And I don't know where the line between very good and great is, but it sounds to me like you just described you are writing for an audience of one. That person, that one is you.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
take that.
Yeah, no, but he was talking about like all these the great classical artists and stuff. And he's saying the difference is if you're trying to write for the public, for a mass audience, is when you lose focus and lose your voice somewhat because you're trying to, like the Abe Lincoln thing. You can't please everybody all the time. Well, not that nonsense. So, but that's his point about
everybody all the time, but you can take a bullet for a friend. That was the rest of Lincoln's saying. So I thought y'all knew Lincoln was shot. I didn't know I didn't know it was too soon.
Thank you very much for ruining the program. We were on such a nice flow before that. Anyway, no. So now with the coming out in September, they pre-order it on the website kentantarelli.com. Is that what's going on?
They can pre-order it from my publisher, Black Rose Writing.
Oh, Black Rose. Now, so you're not self-published. You go through a traditional publisher.
The historical mystery series I self-published. This book, The Blackest Time, is through Black Rose.
Okay. Is there a reason that? Because this is a discussion that I've been having for 7 years. I think why go through a publisher when that gives them all the power, and you still have to do all the work, right? You still have to do all the marketing work, the publicity and all that stuff. And now you're just giving somebody a cut for just printing it? I don't know. It just seems weird. Is there a reason you chose to go that route for this book?
Well, for me, it's an experiment. I want to see how it works out. In terms of the promotion of the book, it's done two ways. I mean, I have to do a lot of it. I will do a lot of it, but Black Rose does as well. They have some ways of promoting the book that I hadn't thought of. So, and they did things like they set up the cover. I really love the cover of the book.
Yeah.
I give them some credit for doing that. That was
the cover of the book. I'm glad you brought that up. We're looking at the cover of the book right now. If you're listening on the radio, you're not looking at the cover of the book, but it implies that this is almost, dare I say, a little bit of a romance thing. It looks like there's a relationship, a male-female relationship involved, right? Is the core of this about a relationship between two people?
I told you there are several themes playing out like threads throughout the book, and one of them is a romantic theme. Gino works in this apothecary shop, and the owner of the shop, his daughter and Gino eventually fall in love. And it's a difficult time for young people to court each other at that time. And so their difficulty in courting each other is a theme that plays out throughout the book. But eventually, yes, they do fall in love, and that you're correct in saying that's kind of
again the parallels. Because I would say, and listen, I'm too old to even care about this stuff anymore. But thinking about what COVID did to people, young people who were, they didn't in the days of the Black Plague, they didn't have the internet and internet dating, so it must have been extremely scary to you'd see a young lady you'd love or be very attracted to, but I don't dare do anything about it because she's going to give me the plague. People must have been. It must have killed baby making for a long time. Population probably fell off, but it definitely probably killed a lot of possible relationships and all that stuff. So
I'm sure there was that thinking, but in the book, in Gino's case, love overcame the fear.
Yeah, I think that's probably true of most.
He's being polite. He's saying Gino was horny as hell.
Yeah. No, but I could see how amorous desire will overcome fear a lot of times. When you finish this a book like this, what are you left with? Are you feeling happy about the outcome? Are you kind of thoughtful about the outcome? Because I was discussing this with an author last night about how long it takes him to process what he learned from writing the book and what he takes away from it. Sometimes that could take years to look back on your own work and say, this is why I felt so compelled to write this book, and this is what I was teaching myself or trying to learn for myself. Do you go through that, and what do you feel when you finish a book like this?
I mentioned earlier that a thing that's important to me is doing the historical research and finding out what really happened at that time. And so when the book is all finished, I look at it and say, did I really represent all of that in the book? And I think I did here. I feel good about the book. I feel it really does tell the story of what things were like at that time. If you look at the Black Plague, there are lots of books, history books written about the Black Plague. I could not find another novel written about it. And I don't understand why. I mean, it is the most horrific time in our history. And so far, there's not been a novel written about it. It's just amazing to me that that's true. That's why when I started finding out about all these things, I said, this needs to be told. People should understand this and enjoy it and experience it.
I think you're
right.
There
is a sitcom. There is a sitcom series about the Black Plague that's playing... Stephen probably can take it off the top of his head. I'll let you know. But it's a comedy about the Black Plague.
Wow.
You're right. There is one. And I think I'm also told there's, although I haven't seen it, a horror series about the Black Plague.
The horror series makes sense. I can't imagine where the yucks come from in I mean, Monty Python.
It would be funny.
Monty Python had like inclusion of like Bring Out the Dead and all that kind of stuff, but that was like it wasn't a whole series. It was 2 minutes out of a 2-hour feature film.
It's called the Decameron.
The Camerons?
Yeah, Decameron. Decameron.
But I think you're right. I mean, I've interviewed more authors than anybody on the planet, and I got to look through my archives. I doubt that there has been another novelist that I've interviewed that has written about the Black Plague as a subject matter, maybe as a passing kind of thing. But I don't think there's any none of my recollection anyway.
I can understand why, because when I tell people I'm writing a story about the Black Plague, they say, "Wow, that must be depressing." And
yeah,
yet
that's why I asked you what you feel about when you end this book. Because it's got to take some kind of toll on you, or at least make you thoughtful about how messed up the human race is and how we approach these kind of things.
To some extent, but what comes across to me really was how the human spirit can survive all of this. I mean, a lot of good came out of it. As I said earlier, Gino got this witch or this woman who was accused of witchcraft away from being tortured and killed. Gino falls in love with a woman. There's just, I told you about his sister who develops from a young girl into a mature woman. There's just, life goes on despite all the hardship.
Yeah. You know what? It sounds like I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it sounds like this is a book about hope and redemption.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good. You know, I think we need that in this time. So maybe that's a reason enough to pre-order the book today. Go to kentantarelli.com and or Black Rose Publishing and pre-order the book today. It's been a pleasure to kind of learn from you today about this. You know, I probably should have learned this stuff in high school, but I probably didn't care that much back in high school. But anyway, I was interested in it, and I think we were confused about the origins of it, and I think we're probably still confused about the origins of it, where it exactly became. But at least you cleared up some of it for us. Thanks for being here. So, any final words before we say goodbye? We got to get the news. kentantarelli.com, right? That's what we want.
I thank you, gentlemen, very much. I enjoyed being here. It was a very interesting time for me.
Yeah. All right. And continue on. And good luck with the book. And if you want to come back sometime after the book is out and kind of give it another bump, we're here for you. So thanks.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye for now. Oh, look, the book is coming.
Oh, you're a book.
It's a Black Plague. I got a Black Plague. Oh, interesting stuff there. You know, what is this? Well, I take the book out. Somebody read that to me. Be nice to me.
It was a song and it was popular. It was based on a girl who shot at a school because she didn't like Mondays. Now school shootings are so common you never hear it.
Yeah, I get that. I know about. I don't like Mondays, Boomtown Rats, but I don't understand where it came up in the conversation. Do you? Is it clear to you why Colonel Mike, or is he just having a Napo moment, as we would call that?
Probably that.
Yeah.
It's just the Black Plague, the series, the comedy series, the Decameron is based on the short stories by Giovanni Boccaccio.
Giovanni, another nice Jewish guy, Giovanni.
Yeah, Giovanni Boccaccio.
Seemed like an Italian thing, right? Italian guys seem to. Why am I not taking this comment out? Do you know?
Why aren't you?
Yeah, I don't know. Black Plague, yuck. I mean, beyond Bring Out Your Dead, where I don't know.
It did start in China. It started in China and then followed the trade routes to the Middle East, and then from the Middle East to Europe.
So that's where the yucks come from?
Yeah.
I'm just questioning, like, how do you write a comedy about something so dark like that? I mean, it can't be just yuck the whole time, right?
I tried to watch it. I didn't find it.
Compelling.
I can see what they were trying to do, but to me, they epically failed. But they made it was a series. They got it on television. I never got a series on television.
Imagine this. You got your draft, right? You got your draft. Let's just say you got your draft. You got your draft. Say you got your draft.
Yeah. And I
Steven's
closed
not
the
saying it
windows
with us.
because
I
it
got
was
my
cooler
draft.
after that. It's 54 degrees outside. That draft is fucking cold. But go ahead.
Right.
Yes.
So now you wanted to get it green lighted. So you're gonna go in and make a pitch, and you say, "I got this idea, man. How about a yuck filled comedy about the Black Plague?"
I
That's how
don't know if I would deliver it like that. I think I would
Well,
set
that's
it
what
up.
I'm asking. How would you deliver it? Go ahead.
Oh, how I would do it? I'd actually would have people over, invite them over to for like a party. They would think it's just like a party, and then we would just break out performing it, while they're there as an audience to see if they would, grab onto it, just act it out,
Sounds like
impromptu.
you're about to give me the Aristocats joke. You know the Aristocrats joke.
I
Steven
know
knows.
the aristocrats joke, but I
I
wasn't
know
thinking of that. I
I
was
know
just
the
thinking.
cartoon cats.
You don't know, Steven, do you know the Aristocrats joke?
No.
Oh my God! If I could pull up Bob
Google it.
Saget, this
Google
would
it.
be a worthwhile hour and a half if I could get Bob Saget doing the Aristocrats joke.
If we could get him on the show, but it's too bad he's dead, isn't he?
He died of the plague, didn't he?
Well, let's get Gilbert Gottfried. Oh, damn it, he's dead too. Is there
Yeah,
anybody
Gilbert's
left?
isn't as good as Saget. You know, a lot of Jackie's is good. Doug Stanhope doing it to a baby, kind of weird.
And so Michael, Mr. Is it Colonel Kaufman? No, I'm sorry,
It's
Michael.
General.
I've been infected by the nepotism.
It's General. I thought it was Senator, wasn't it?
So Michael, there are a lot of children's nursery rhymes are about disasters. If you go back to the oldest nursery rhymes that when we were growing up, you got this one, Ring Around the Rosie, about the Black Plague. You got London Bridge falling down, about the collapse of London Bridge. You got Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, gave her father 41 or something like that. There's a bunch of tons of nursery rhymes for kids about disasters and plagues and really bad stuff.
So I don't like Mondays?
That's a very popular nursery rhyme.
Looks like my thing is hung up here. I can't get back to you guys.
Hung up. Stephen and I was just noticing that your thing was hung up.
The children's nursery rhyme, Ring Around the Rosie. Oh, yeah. Black Plague, Ring Around the Rosie.
Yep.
So Rosie had a ring around her, right? They were.
Well, like Beyonce said,
Rosie
you want to
Palm.
put a ring on it. Put a ring on it. Put a ring on it.
Rosie Palm in the Five Sisters. It's about a guy who fell in love with his hand because he was jerking off so much. Is that what?
Put a ring on it. You love your hand that much? Put a ring on it.
Do you want to? It's 5 minutes and 38 seconds for Saget, and we will get a copyright strike. But I don't care if you want to. See
If you don't care, this could be worth educating Stephen.
I think it's Saget. Come on, because the thing about Saget, Danny, what was Danny Tanner? Was that his name?
Yep.
He was just.
He was America's third father.
Yeah, but on stage he was disgusting, and I loved every second of it.
And the Aristocrats, the whole idea of it is to be disgusting. It's not a funny joke. It's improv. It's how gross can you make it, and can you outdo?
See how gross they make it.
Yeah,
I'm trying to, and it's like I get.
I'm surprised that Ron Kane never did the Aristocrat group. No, he doesn't need the Aristocrats.
Stop showing. I shared the wrong fucking thing because why? Why did I share the wrong fucking
those on the
thing?
radio, Matt accidentally shared the lady with the saggy tits, the old lady that keeps sending them breasts. So he accidentally sent that. So on the radio, you didn't miss much.
Tell this joke. Some people think I have a reputation of being a dirty comedian, and I don't really want to expose that anywhere because I think I'm really a family kind of oriented guy, which brings me to this joke. Oh, Saget. Now there is a man who walks around telling the aristocrat joke in life. That's my friend Paul, and right now I'm looking at his dinger. He's got a very huge wiener. It's about that big. Pretty sure. When you lit something, it better be a cock. Sorry.
Once for Hanukkah, he gave me some slim Tampax. He said, leave them out so guys will think you're really tight.
Here we go. This family, mother, father, and 4 kids. Doesn't matter if they're boys or girls. And they're going to be used anyway as just nothing more than a hole is what this joke's about anyway. It's about using your kid, that they have a paper route to go to school, and then you fuck them. No, that's his aim is to get as many
disgusting thoughts into sentences as possible.
And the agent goes, well, what do you people do? Father's like, watch us. He takes his wife's bra and he rips off her underwear and he takes some of her pubes with it. It's horrible. And there's a little bit of blood starts dripping down her leg. So he just pulls out the tampon and throws it at the window and it sticks. They go down on each other in all different configurations. It's 69, it's 29 because the kids are young. It's 9. The father bends his kid over on the guy's desk and he's like taking him from behind, which isn't right. I just want to say right now, if any of you people are doing this that are watching this, if you're having sex with your family, I don't condone it. I think it's wrong. I'd like to do a lot of PSAs to support. Do not fuck your family. So they're all fucking each other, right? All of a sudden, the kid can't take it. Diarrhea starts squirting out of his ass. It's like a hemorrhaging shit ass. The kid starts spinning in a circle because he can't control it. It's kind of like Curly and the Stooges. Larry the cheese. The projectile shit is just flying at him. It's going all over the room. It's like spin art. So you don't know whether to shit or puke in this room. That's how. What the fuck am I doing?
I think that's enough.
Then wait, there's more.
You get to be a comic.
More?
This is fun.
So then they start singing "Make 'Em Laugh" and be a clown. The father's hemorrhoid pops, right? So he grabs it up, puts it on the end of his nose like a clown, like Emmett Kelly, except he's covered in shit. Then they all start making out. You know, they're all kidding aside. By the way, this would be a good time right now to take your pants off and get some lotion. Because that's what happens next with this family. Lotion. They just start jacking it. Can I get a copy of this? I'd like to send it to the kids on the show Full House, if I could.
It was just an opportunity to be vile for no reason at all. So I used to love it.
Father can't help himself, pulls back, smacks his wife right in the mouth, knocks all of her teeth out, sticks his fist, accidentally, mind you, down her toothless throat. Unbelievable. He actually fists her neck.
I love the idea of floating right past that as if this is the most normal and the thing you're most used to doing. I come inside my daughter's asshole and then my wife felches it. I'm not sure if you're familiar with felching.
Felching is where you fuck someone in the ass and you
don't think
Suck the
YouTube
cum
is
out.
monetize this.
Tasty. Jizz straight, it's good, but if it has that little taste of shit, we also have the dirty Sanchez.
That's where you fuck someone in the ass, then you pull it out and then you give the girl a mustache with the shit that's on your dick. Mexican mustache.
Ding, ding. Then there's the strawberry shortcake. He jerks off on her face and punches her in the nose. She's bleeding and
So I think
white
I think we
and
get
a rusty
the idea,
trombone.
right? We could stop. So
I can't figure out why people don't show up to this show.
Well, the Aristocrats is an old joke. I mean, it's not like a new joke, and it's been around forever. But that goes on. Saget's version, I think, in the full version, is like 8 minutes or something. But there have been people who've done it for longer. But there's a movie about Paul Provenza, and he enlisted George Collins' help in this, and other people about doing a whole movie about how comedians in green rooms share this joke, and it's kind of a challenge to see, can you do it? Can you be grosser than Bob Saget? Can you be grosser than Gilbert Gottfried? Can you be obviously Saget? I think Saget's is the best, but
I did like Gilbert Gottfried better, mainly because of his voice. Just the sound that went with it.
Yeah.
They're aristocrats.
The Stanhope is in the movie, but again, he's doing it for a kid, which is kind of, I don't know. You really shouldn't. That should be against the law to tell that joke to a kid.
Probably,
but he's not telling it to a kid, is he? Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually don't remember that part. I don't remember if he dirtied it up as much as most people do, but the whole idea, the name of the joke, it's the punchline, and the punchline's not really funny. I mean, it's but the whole point of it is just to see. I guess it's good for improv skills, right? It's kind of you have no idea where you're going to go with this. You just know the idea is to make it as disgusting as possible. And
I have my version. I'm going to be doing a video version of the Aristocrats. Once my wife goes out of town for 10 days.
So Stephen was so excited to get his bass guitar so he could play with the nut. Said, this is breaking news. Said when he got it and he couldn't put it in his mouth.
Just as I can't.
So Stephen, are you going to do the Aristocrats now that you've been made aware of it? Are you going to
No,
look further?
because that other guy doesn't do it. Because he only
Go to
steals from
Amazon.
one guy. He only
Go to
steals from one
Amazon Prime and watch it. It's available. I think it's a free.
If Dave Landau does it, he'll do it so that he can steal it from him. He won't steal from just anybody.
Yeah, I don't think I can get Provenda on the program anymore after doing all this. No, it's just because he's on West Coast time, and this is just too early for these West Coast dudes.
Well, some of them. Jason made it. You know, there are West Coast people who make it to the show.
Right, yeah.
You know,
I forgot that George Carlin uttered the phrase "coming in my daughter's ass." I would have played that for Kelly Carlin when she was on my program and see her reaction to her father saying "coming in my."
That's why she wouldn't. Matter of fact, that's why she wouldn't do "Don't Way Past Funny" because I told her I wanted to talk about that, and she says I don't. She says I don't do comedy anymore. I said no, but you have a perspective that's different and unique. You used to do comedy. I said, and
So basically, anybody I have on the show, you ask them to be on.
No, only people that I would think would be interesting.
Okay. They just happen to be my guests first before you ask them, right?
No, I have a lot of people.
I don't mind.
Before
I don't mind
on your
feeding
show.
you guests. It just seems like you're being a little predatory there. You're
Well, it's not a little predatory. I'm being a lot opportunist.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
But no, I was doing the show before.
So you're using me. The only reason you come here is
no. I remember I asked you. I got you on my show probably before I was on your show.
I don't think so.
Well, I don't think so either, but I don't know for a fact. I can't remember.
No, I don't think so. I think you weren't steadily on here. You were on here once in a while, and when you had
Family bickering, gotta love it.
That had to be your worst episode when you interviewed me.
No,
right?
no, it is not the worst episode. I can tell you the worst episode.
Who was the worst? Steven? Have you even had Steven on there yet? You've had Steven on there. Yeah.
Actually,
And that wasn't your worst?
No, the worst episode actually was the episode that. Okay, this is what happened. What had happened was.
Here's the deal.
Yeah, the original episode, the first episode was supposed. I had when I first started, I had a co-host. So any of the episodes with my co-host were the worst episodes. It was so bad that Carol told me I had to get rid of him.
Was it Ron Kane?
No. And so the very first episode, because a lot of comedians are nervous about showing their first sets and being picked apart. So the first episode, we looked at
guys,
my
I got to
video.
take off out of here. I will see you tomorrow.
Even talking to you. No, see you in the morning.
God,
so
get rid of that.
So a lot of people are nervous about having their first sets, and watching it again. So the first episode was my co-host, I can't even remember his name now. Honestly, I can't remember his name.
Wow.
And Sandy Bernstein were the ones looking at my first set, and then they were, critiquing it, so to speak. We're discussing it, and I forgot to hit record. So I didn't have that episode. So I called Sandy back, and I got my co-host back, and we tried to watch it. We tried to redo it, but we couldn't recapture and so it was never. And plus, the guy, my co-host, didn't even show up for that shoot. So it's just me and Sandy. And Sandy was exhausted. She had just did a gig. Something had happened, and so she was exhausted. But we did it, and it was not as good as the first time. And I didn't hit record, but that was the very last time.
9-hour interviews, the marathons. You do these. It's not like this show, which is short. Like this is a very
2 hours, 2.5 hours. Yes.
Yeah, very short.
So because we tried to it's not that I was trying to recapture the magic in the bottle. Now, and then Sandy was my first guest. Sandy Bernstein was the first guest. And the show itself, the Don't Way Past Funny show, was not that bad, but my host kept dragging it down. And he was awful. He was terrible. He wouldn't pay attention to guests. He would just blurt shit out. He was just a terrible co-host. And
I can relate.
After two episodes, actually, well, I think he was only on 2 episodes, I think. Right. But Carol says you have to get rid of him. and I was
Wow.
trying to give him an opportunity to fix himself.
So Carol's Yoko. She's telling you how to run your art now.
No, she was right. She was right. I was
Yoko
trying
was right a couple of times too. She actually wrote Imagine, but she took over. She basically you're
Carol was right.
henpecked. You're whipped.
The show went a lot better once I started doing it by myself.
All right. I could be your Yoko.
As a matter of fact, he was supposed to have been on for like 4 or 5 episodes. Like I said, he was the co-host, but he wasn't showing up. So I would like introduce.
Wow, no shows from the co-host. That's a whole other level of no show.
And it turns out that at the time, see, this is something he didn't tell me in the beginning. When he agreed to do the show, and we did dry rehearsals and stuff, technical rehearsals. Between the technical rehearsal and the time the show actually started, we started recording. He became homeless and unemployed.
Wow.
And he started doing Uber Eats or something for money. And so he would check into the show and he'd be like driving and delivering food.
That's an interesting thing. Uber Eats and just steal people's food and don't deliver it.
That's I never even thought of that. I don't know if that's what he was doing or not.
If I were homeless, that's definitely I'm gonna get an Uber Eats job and somebody just ordered from McDonald's. Okay, I'm gonna go pick it up and then thank you very much. Oh no, do you have to pay them? And I don't know how that works. The guy actually have to pay for it, and then
I don't know the answer to that. But
they pay for it online, right? Uber,
yeah, and he was stoned all the time. So I was trying to give him an opportunity to get right. I didn't want to just get rid of him. And Carol says, no, he's dragging the show down. She says, I can't watch it. It's unwatchable. And so,
so you like Trump? You don't hire the best and brightest. You just say you do.
Well, at the time he came recommended, and he used to have his own podcast, which I checked out. And I said, okay, it's pretty decent. Okay. And so he had stopped doing it because he was the technical stuff. It was like too much for him. And that's why I'll handle the technical stuff. I just need someone, to co-host, someone with experience. So if I'm going astray, I can have somebody like a mentor. But he was so bad that I learned more from my mistakes.
So let's clear this up. Is it true that you're being honest that you can't remember his name, or you just don't?
No, honestly, I can't remember his name. I can remember the name.
Yeah, you don't have to. I mean, we don't have to embarrass the guy because you've
I
already said
remember,
how bad he was.
I remember his stage name. His stage name was like Sugar Ray.
Oh,
yeah, Sugar Ray. Because his
show was Sugar Ray.
His show was called Sugar Ray and Sugar Ray's Boom Boom Room or something like that. That was what his podcast was called.
Wow. It sounds like he was a boxing fan. Do you think I can remember all my co-hosts that I've had on this program?
I think you probably can. I think not only can you remember them, I think you can probably remember why they hate you.
I remember Kiara was the first co-host that I had. Jess Paul was second, I think. Right? Jess Paul was second.
I don't know. You can tell me any name and I'll just believe you because before me, I don't give a shit who was on the air.
Well, you'd give a shit about one who was right before you. Right?
Who was that?
I don't know if you noticed about the guy.
No, I don't give a shit. I was actually on the show with him.
I'm embarrassed to even say I gave that kid a shot. Listen, I felt bad for him.
I love Ron like a distant fourth cousin. That I see at the reunion once in a while. But once he left the show, it's like, okay, fine, he's gone.
Oh.
Same with Stephen. As a matter of fact, when Stephen left and kept coming back, I told Carol, I said, either he needs to go or stay. I don't like him being here for 20 seconds or 20 minutes of show. I said, no, I don't like that. Either he comes or goes. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah. I told my wife that. And she said,
no
did you
good
tell
deed
Matt
goes
that?
unpunished.
And my wife said, did you tell Matt that? I said, no, I'm not going to tell Matt that because it's Matt's show. And if Matt wants to run it like that, that's Matt's business.
You tried to get some. You did try to convince me to. Well, not convince me. You suggested that I bring on some lesbian chick or something recently.
Yeah, or the dick guy from Australia because the dick guy in Australia wanted
in New Zealand.
New Zealand, that dick guy.
It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
I would like to get a female co-host on here, but it has to be.
How about Abby Russell? She seems available.
No.
Oh, Victoria. Let's get Victoria.
Victoria.
The one that used to run the room in the Broadway Comedy Club. From Barry's class.
Oh, Tornstead? No, that
Yeah.
was her. The shark spit her out. She got bit by a shark, took a chunk out of her and went, "Pah!" Then it's like Charlie Tuna. She's Star-Kissed. Oh, no, she's the other one. She's the.
How about Robert Taylor?
Robert Taylor was. He wasn't a co-host. He had he was a frequent contributor and had a segment on the program called "Thank You for Your Service." And then there was. There were lots of frequent contributors who thought it was a good idea, and then they figured out, well, this takes a lot of work, and then they stopped doing it.
Yeah, that's what people don't realize. People have this idea of how easy some things are. I like to do that, and then it's like, oh, they don't know. They have no fucking idea.
Just to do a 5-minute segment once a week was time consuming for them. They have to write 5 minutes and then perform it in front of a camera, edit it, and send it to me. That was too much for them. I would like to get, just to have some female perspective, just to get mad at me when I go over the line, or even you, or Ron.
I thought we had Steven for the female perspective.
Yeah. Not the same. This is why I don't want a lesbian. Steven's pretty much a lesbian. I don't want to say I don't want a lesbian. I would be okay with a lesbian, but I also I would want a straight woman, and I'd want to see the lesbian try to convert the straight woman. That would be good. So can you work on that? Get me a straight woman, but hopefully a hot one. Can we get a hottie? I want to, that's Kara and Jess Paul were very attractive women, and
I'll reach out to what's her name, Peppercat.
Who?
Peppercat, the black stripper.
Oh yeah, I forgot about her. No, she's not going to do it. She's got her. She
because she has a OnlyFans thing, and that's
OnlyFans, and she makes big money on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Fuck it. Yeah, I could see why a hot chick would not want to be on this program. Obviously, I'm like, what am I like?
The hot chicks.
No, I'm the opposite of catnip. What am I? I'm like
ragweed,
nitroglycerin. No, the plague. The plague. That's what I'm like. The plague.
Yeah.
They run away.
I'm like a tick carrying the plague. I'm like a flea carrying the plague, hanging on a rat.
All right. So my order of business today is contact Paint the Town and find out the Louis C.K. thing. If they found somebody else yet, am I on that? If not, then I'm sticking to the Tony thing, the luau. Okay. And that's it. That's my day today. What are you doing? You're just gonna.
I have a meeting with Alan Katz in a couple of hours.
And what's the deal with that? Is he pulling the trigger on that thing anytime soon? Oh, look at this.
Well, we're here. The guy Albert Bramonti was supposed to be our first guest. There's something really fucked up with communications because he's not getting back to me. After he got back to me, he's not getting back anymore. So I don't know if he's still alive or not.
Wow. He's still on. His publicist is still out there pushing him.
So yeah, I've reached out and what I did is because his emails for some reason was going to my junk folder, even though I emailed him and he just replied back. And so when I realized that, I said to him, I said, look, here's my phone number. Let's just text or talk that way. I said, because I don't know why your emails are going back to my junk folder.
Your junk?
Yeah, I don't know why. It doesn't make sense to me. Especially since he was replying to stuff that I sent him.
Look under your junk.
I did. And I found some very gamely things there. And I thought that washing frequently.
Cheese? Did you find from under cheese? Is that what you?
No. I wish it were cheese because I'm going to make a chicken salad and grilled cheese sandwich later today for lunch.
Now, I'm sorry to interrupt you here. Whatever you're talking about. I'm not. You get Social Security, right? You do?
Yes. Yeah.
Did they fuck you up? Did they change shit on you?
No, not yet.
I used to be the third Wednesday of every month and kind of counted on that. And then yesterday I found that they moved me to the fourth Wednesday of every month.
That's so they can get a free week. Now, did they increase the amount because they cut out they extended the week or something? Because
they increased my amount and then charged me more for Medicare, whatever. And I don't want that. I want to fuck the health insurance. I don't want to. I want to get sick and die.
That's the way to opt out of it. If you opt out of it, you can never opt back in. That's
that's what I want. I want to opt out of it and never be able to opt back in.
Yeah, if you opt out, you can't opt back in because, like,
I don't want to opt back in. I want to get sick and die.
Because my wife, I was on her insurance before I turned 65, and once the Medicare kicked in, it's like, you know, I wanted to opt out, but we found out if we opt out, we can't. I couldn't. Once
you want to live? You want to go to a hospital and they put tubes in you and keep you alive, and that's how you want to go. You want to die in a hospital.
Matt, I have a very good dental plan. I have a very good doctor that I see every 6 months. It keeps I have a glucose monitor, so it's kind of beneficial for me to have insurance.
No, it's beneficial not to have insurance, so you die. That's what the goal is, to die.
That's not my goal. My goal is
whether you want it or not. That's your goal.
My goal is to enjoy my life as long as I have it, and if I'm healthy, I will enjoy it more than if I'm not healthy. Because if I'm not healthy, then I'm concerned with pain and anal leakage.
The place you're going to end up, the goal, whether you like it or not, is death.
No, that's not my goal. That's just my final destination. That's not my goal.
That is the goal. I can promise you that when you get there,
somebody
will go,
go! No, they'll probably yell, he shoots and scores. But that's not a goal. Is something you work towards. You achieve something. You try to achieve. I'm not trying to achieve death. It's going to happen whether I'm trying or not. Yeah. So what I'm going to try to do is keep it as healthy and happy as possible.
That's the beauty of death being your goal. You don't even have to work at it. It's going to come. And
like my goal is to do comedy. My goal is to the headline or feature in all 50 states. That's my goal in comedy. My goal is to make sure I make it through this marriage without my wife killing me.
But so like when the soccer ball is first kicked, the place it wants to end up is where it's going to end up is in the goal, and in human terms, that is a box in the ground or a box on the shelf.
I was never very good at the football.
You have to earn it, is what I'm saying. You have to earn it.
I was pretty good at the basketball, and so shoots and scores was for me.
They still call them field goals, don't they? Call them field goals and field goals. Is that guy still around? Remember that guy?
Yeah.
Is he still alive? He died. He died saying goal, didn't he? This is terrible. Why do we even tomorrow? You know what we got tomorrow?
Some people.
A people.
A people.
A people.
A people.
His subject is. I don't even want to say it. I can't even. Online. Dating.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Finding the love of it, making a real connection, a romantic connection online. What's your take on it? What's your position on finding love looking for love in all the online places?
My wife and I met online.
You met online?
We met online, yeah.
Ew.
We weren't dating. We weren't trying to date. I was actually when I was separated from my first wife, I was alienated from a lot of my friends during that marriage, during that 7 years. And so I was trying to hook up with friends that I used to have before I was married so I could recalibrate myself, so I could remember who I was before I married. And so I'm looking for my friends online, and I and while I'm doing it, I run across one, and I went, "Oh, okay." And I tried to, and it turns out that the picture was some dating site. Oh, I know.
Plenty of fish.
When I separated from my wife, I started looking for an attorney. And you know, when you're doing a search and they put something in there and you click on it because you wind up someplace else.
Yeah.
I didn't know that I was not on the lawyer page anymore, and it was asking me questions like what type of lawyer do you want? I'm like, divorce, and then it went on and said, next thing you know, they start sending me pictures of single women into my area, and I'm like, what? How did that happen? And when I went to looking for an attorney, apparently they said, well, he must be looking to date also if he's looking for an attorney. And so one of the pictures I found was actually somebody I was looking for. I was trying to find. And they sent me one of the pictures. Matter of fact, they didn't know my sexual preference. So they were sending me men and women. Yeah. So I was getting men and
I gotta
women.
say, I don't know your sexual preference either. I thought you were into like guys in wheelchairs, fat guys in wheelchairs.
No, my doctor cured me of that.
Stephen was just a casual hookup. Then
It was a fetish. It was a fetish. My doctor cured me of that. Yeah. He with a shock collar. And so so he sent me all these pictures, and so I saw somebody. I tried to reach out to him and said, I have to be like a member of the dating service to reach out to them. Now, oh, okay. So it's like a free trial or something. So I went in and signed up. And turns out that picture was of somebody who looked like them. It wasn't them. And I was in one of the chat rooms. I used to read chat rooms, just to fuck with, I don't know. I used to play Minesweeper and read the chat rooms. And Carol reached out to me about something. I think she had seen my profile or something. At any rate, she said something like, why are the good men in Maryland or something like that? I can't remember exactly. But at any rate, I responded back and we started chatting back and forth. But I'm a terrible typist. So I gave her my phone number. I said, if you want to talk, you can talk on the phone. But it takes me like an hour to respond to a question, like now. And so we started talking, and then like every Friday I'd call her because it just felt safe being able to talk to somebody who didn't know me, who I knew nothing. Like I said, she lives in Maine. Nothing is ever going to happen. I can be completely honest with her. I don't have to put on airs or pretense or anything like that. It's not like I'm trying to impress her, to get into her pants. She lives in Maine. I live in Maryland. It's never going to happen. And after like a few years, I don't know how long it was before we met. We started dating.
You don't know how long it was, but you're saying a few years. That's a long.
No, it's not a few years. I just said that.
So were you nervous the first time you actually met her in person? What was like? What if she really doesn't look like a picture? Man, what if she looks like Steven when I get there? Or none of that. I would never. I'm not going to meet somebody. I'm even reluctant when I'm buying like a guitar and I got to go meet somebody. It's like, this is going to be, I got to actually meet a human being. I don't know. You weren't nervous at all? Were you at all shy about it?
I guess I was.
Did you have to drive all the way to Maine? Is that
No. We met at the airport.
Oh, at the airport?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a commitment to make.
No, I'm just teasing. She wasn't a pilot.
That's a commitment to make, driving to an airport to meet somebody.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this last night. In 1979, I met a girl in an airport, and I met her. It was in Dallas, and she was flying to Lubbock, and I was flying to Lubbock. We were waiting for the same plane, and she was fucking smoking hot. And but she looked like an ex-girlfriend who I was still pining for, I was still in love with. And but she looked a lot like her. And I had recently read a body language book on how confident men score women. And it basically, in the book, it said, point to your dick. Like stand like a cowboy, and like a cowboy, like ready to draw. And he's like, got his hands on his holster, but use your fingers to point to your dick. And I was doing that. I was leaning against the wall, and she came walking over to me. I was like, damn, this is working. She's looking at my dick. She's coming over to talk to me. And she did. And she was going to Texas Tech. I was going to New Mexico. And we made arrangements to hook up for a weekend. And we did hook up for a weekend. I took her to a motel room. I ate her pussy for like 6 hours.
Oh.
And then we went to a
A la
Texas Tech.
carte?
Huh?
Was it a la carte or
It
no?
was a la carte, yeah. So, and then we went to a Texas Tech A&M, Texas Tech versus Texas A&M game. She was going to Texas Tech. I'm rooting for Texas Tech, and I basically put a whole bunch of money on Texas A&M, and they won by 1 point. And she was pissed at me. I was celebrating big money win, and that was the last I ever saw her. I wrote a song about it. Want to hear about it? Here it goes.
Why don't you play it?
Huh?
Did you write it and you have a recording, or you just wrote it and it's like in paper form?
No, I recorded it.
Play it.
I have to find. I don't have to find it. I could. All right. Let me. I'll get it really quick, Shiva. But
Okay. But people on the radio, while we're waiting for Matt, well, let me remind you. This week, the John Beaver's interview from Done Way Past Funny will premiere on my YouTube channel. Last week we premiered Big Rich Comedy. Big Rich Brock from Big Rich Comedy.
Brock.
Yeah, Big Rich Brock. We premiered his Done Way Past Funny episode last weekend. This, like I said, this weekend is John Beavers from Slaptail Nation. Check out his interview Done Way Past Funny, and he has a show June 14th in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Headliner is Jamie Schreiner, who was on this show just a week or two ago promoting it. And her feature is Danny Lang and 2 other people, Saunders and Melnick.
Have I had Danny Lang on this program? It feels like I might have.
I don't remember Danny Lang being on the program, but
no, I think it would have been before you. I think it was in the Kiara days, but I think I might have had him on this program. Is he an older guy or
I have no idea. I saw his picture, but you can't tell with white people. They age so quickly. The only black person I know that ages as quickly as a white person is LeBron James. He was like 18 years old and he looked like he was 40. He was the exception to the rule.
Last Cowboys. Wrong one. I picked the wrong song. All right, let me see if I can share this really quick. Oh, stop that before it plays. Come on, stop.
I met somebody. If John Beavers is listening, one of the members. I was on John Beavers' podcast, and one of the people from his podcast sent me a friend request. I saw him on Zoom, but the picture that's on Facebook when he sent the friend request did not look like him, and I didn't know his real name. Only knew the name that he used on the podcast, and so I'm like, "Who the fuck is this person?" And then it says mutual friends, John Beavers. And
I just got a friend request from somebody like that. Yeah, he's a slaptail guy.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the part about Julie is only in the beginning. It gets over with quick, so we won't listen to the whole song. But
I was a cowboy. Take 99. Julie was a cheerleader from Dallas. Long red hair and steel blue eyes. In the crazy heat of summer, we were just kids. We were making love, and we were getting high. And I was a cowboy, and she was my baby. Love wasn't nothing but a sweet dream. I was a cowboy, and she was my baby. That's the way it used to be. But things ain't always what they seem.
All right, enough of that. So I was a cowboy. Julie was a cheerleader from Dallas. She was a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader before she decided to go to school. And that's what, so I banged the Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. Are you proud of me? You're proud of me. Say you're proud of me. Tell me you're proud of me. You didn't bang a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. What'd you get? A Rams. You got like a Rams cheerleader. What'd you get? Like a Vikings cheerleader. What you got? Eagles cheerleader. You didn't even get a professional football team.
I was more impressed with the fact that you placed 2 candles between your legs so that everybody had to look at your dick during the video.
Yeah. Now there's a video where I taught Davey the point at your dick thing, and he's actually practicing it. He doesn't like me to show that, so I won't show that. But I was trying to
tell everybody about it.
It actually, yeah, but it actually works. This whole idea of pointing to your dick. I think it works because every time I tried it, it worked. I haven't tried it recently because my dick is gone. It's hibernating.
I prefer the pheromone method when you just reach down and get the scent, and then you talk with your hands, and they go like.
Any of you young studs out there, put this to the test. Go out next time you're out, like on the prowl. Do the cowboy stance with your thumbs in with the Al Bundy position there. In your pants or in your belt loop, and you both your fingers pointing directly to your dick. Test it out. Let me know how you do.
Now, it may you don't have to point to the tip because sometimes you have a different angle.
Just a general.
Because if it's a very small one, you may be doing this.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you actually.
But the longer it is, the more you're gonna be.
It's basically like an advertisement of there's dick here for you if you want it. If you don't really want her.
Yeah. So it's also if you like lean to the right or if you lean to the left. It's like
to the right.
Yeah. So yeah. So your pointing should be accurate. You know. Spacing for length and then directional. Length and direction. That's what you need to.
Are we getting any? I'm surprised we're not getting hateful comments on this kind of stuff. Because
people are going, is he really just saying that? I think by the time they type what they want to, you know what I think? Okay, the things they want to say or the things they're actually typing, YouTube says you can't send that comment.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. All right, so that's the show for today. Tomorrow, Eric McHugh, we're going to talk about online dating, and I'm sure we'll rehash some of GD's introduction to his wife there. Listen, I'm old-fashioned again. This is twice I said this on the program, but I'm for the old school where you point to your dick and in the airport, and she comes over and says, "Oh, I saw you. Couldn't help notice you were pointing to your dick. Can I have some of that?"
Okay,
that's old-fashioned. That's old school. That's the way you do things back in the old days.
Now, what if you meet her and she's pointing to her dick?
That would
Does it work the other way? Does it work the other way around?
Oh my God, she was so fucking hot though. She was if she was pointing to her vagina,
no,
I would get arrested because I would just run over there, pull her pants down, start sticking my thing. And she'd be like, "What? That was just a point. I don't know." Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna go point to my vagina right now and tell you people, don't forget to turn on your radio. Bye for now.
I listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now.